absolutely looking for Trump supporters, this is Sparring with Santana, one-on-one debates with Trump supporters. If you are a Trump supporter, get in the box. If you are a Trump supporter, get in the box. Guys, please don't request up if you are not a Trump supporter. Please do not request up if you are not a Trump supporter. We are only looking for Trump supporters. Thank you so much for the money gun. Thank you, guys. Again, only request up if you are a Trump supporter. We are only talking to Trump supporters. We are looking for some debates. I understand that you guys might feel that you're in a position where your support of Donald Trump is indefensible. And I get it. Hey, thank you for the star map. I get it. It would be hard for me at this moment to actually still say, yes, I am someone that supports a person that has done so many different things. But like, I know for a fact that you guys have been running around TikTok saying, when you do have a bit of a voice, you've been running around TikTok and you've been saying, like, this is what I voted for. This is what I voted for. Hey, W's in the chat for Chris. Thank you for the galaxy. You've been saying this is what I voted for. Listen, guys, let's do all the wonderful things, right? Keep tapping the screen. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 50,000 likes. Let's get the shares up to 200 shares. And maybe we'll have a Trump supporter that actually has courage, who's willing to get in the box. Because Trump supporters, I don't know if it's just me, right? I don't know if it's just me, but Trump supporters have been talking about, this is what we voted for. This is what we voted for. And I'm inclined to believe you. I genuinely believe you. But the thing is I just need to understand, like, what did you actually vote for? Because so many Trump supporters are saying, yes, I'm good with what's happening. Yes, I understand the tariffs. Yes, it's going to be short-term pain for long-term gain. Yes, I wanted mass deportation. Yes, I want to see other countries pay their fair share. Yes, I want to actually put America first. That's what Trump supporters have been saying. And I'm just trying to get a better understanding of what they really voted for. Because again, the ball's in your court. The ball's in your court, Trump supporters, MAGA, Republicans, independents that voted for Trump, Dems for Trump. Each and every one of you, the ball's in your court. Because the funny thing about having power, right? Everyone wants power until they actually have power and they have to will said power. It's always interesting being it's easy being a Monday morning quarterback. It's very easy to sit back and say, well, Joe Biden should have did this. Kamala Harris should have did this. Barack Obama should have done this. Nancy Pelosi should have did this. Chuck Schumer should have done this. AOC, she should do this. It's really easy to speak from that position. But the interesting thing is now with the Republican Party not only having the presidency and having the Senate and having the House of Representatives and heck, even having the Supreme Court. Thank you for the money gun. You guys don't have to say, oh, this is what you should do. This is what you should do. All you have to do is do it. And Trump supporters, maybe you should, ask yourself this question. Why is it that your leaders are no longer willing to hold town halls? Why are Republican leaders now hiding from their constituents? What's that about? If you voted for these people, thank you for the fireworks, and you put them in power, Then why are they hiding from you? William, are you a Trump supporter?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and I didn't realize we got Jasmine. Are you up here? Jasmine, are you a Trump supporter? You see this Jasmine? Okay, I didn't even see. I'm going to drop him down. That's weird. I think TikTok is doing like TikTok things. There we go. All right. William. I know you and I have spoke before, so I know that you are a Trump supporter.
Absolutely.
And I know that you know who I am and what this is.
Right.
But if you don't mind, just bear with me for a second, because there might be some people that's watching today that don't exactly know who I am or what this is. So will you mind if I give them a quick introduction?
Run it.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
Guys, welcome in. Again, this is Sparring with Santana, one-on-one debates with Trump supporters. If you are a Trump supporter, get in the box. If you are someone that supports Donald Jimothy Trump, get in the box. I need to speak to you. We have William up here. And listen, guys, you can go 2-on-1 with the great one. It's fine. I promise you, I can actually have a conversation. I can debate you both. Just get in the box. But if you are not a Trump supporter, if you are not someone that voted for Trump, if you are not someone that actually believes in Trump, then please do not request up. We are not talking to friendlies. We are only talking to Trump supporters. If you are a friendly, do all the wonderful things. Keep tapping the screen. Tap the screen. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 50,000 likes. Let's get the shares up as well to 200 shares. Tap the screen, share the live, knock out the daily gift goal. And also, guys, just a reminder, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all of my pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support the live. If you enjoy the information, education, entertainment, please consider donating. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. And if you are over on YouTube, you can always support by sending a super chat. So there's that. Also, what up, YouTube? What up, Twitch? If you're watching on YouTube right now, like the stream. Let's get it going. So we have William here, and William is a Trump supporter. And William, do you know what you voted for?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. So help me figure this out, because I've been a little bit confused. I know you guys have so many options. Did you vote for crashing the economy? Did you vote for the de-education department? Did you vote for a powerless country to show your isms? Or did you just get duped? Which one, William?
President Trump, that he would continue the great job he did on his first term.
Really?
Absolutely.
Okay, William, so tell me this. What was so great in his first term that instilled the confidence in you to vote for him again?
He did exactly that. He instilled confidence in me.
Right, but specifically how?
Well, the tax cuts that actually did help working Americans.
How so?
Well, it put money in their pocket that they didn't have originally from a higher tax rate. So when he lowered the taxes, they gave working people an immediate raise.
Yeah. So listen, I will say the TCJA did benefit everyday Americans at the start, for sure. But it overwhelmingly benefited the upper class and corporations. Like the way that it actually worked is it gave us a little something while giving a lot of something to the ultra wealthy. I guess, you know what, William, if you like the TCJA, you like Trump tax cuts, you must have hated how Biden handled taxes for these last couple of years.
Well, we're still under the Donald Trump tax.
Thought I had you there. I had you there, William. Yeah. I'm glad that you learned that one. Cool. So you do understand that, yes, with that being said, with that actual TCJA for over the 8 years, yes, we got a bump. Everyday Americans got a bit of a bump, a bit of a bump at the beginning. when it came to the actual tax cut. But at the end, most Americans ended up paying more in their actual taxes and ended up having to pay for that large amount of tax cuts that the corporations and the ultra wealthy received. Are you good with that?
You know, the military gives their raises in percentages. So if you are a new recruit, you get a 30% raise. It's not going to be the same as if you're a captain and have been in the service 20 years and get a 30% raise just based on your income. So 20% of 10,000 is not as much as 20% of 200,000.
William, did you serve?
No, I hadn't served.
So are you sure about that statement?
Absolutely. They give raises in percentages, say a 20% raise across the board.
Okay, I missed that part. So you're saying across the board. I thought you were
for everybody.
Okay, I thought you were saying like this person gets 20% while this person gets 17% or whatever. You're saying okay, I get it.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. So again, what does that have to do with the actual TCJA? I'm still confused about your connection in that point.
25% off 10 million is a lot more than 25% off 10,000.
Okay.
But it's the same percentage, but just the mere amount affects what the expenditure, what you're receiving, is what I'm saying. So the tax cuts affected the rich because ultimately now they have deductions and they have, there's all types of things that accountants can do and accounting firms can do. But initially, the rich people pay more taxes on the amount of money that for their income.
No,
now they have all types of ways to fix it, but
we know, but we know for a fact that overwhelmingly people that make more of the ultra wealthy end up paying like less in taxes. It's actually been proven that Jeff Bezos paid less in taxes than most of America. I mean, Donald Trump, when his tax returns were finally released, it was proven someone to, quote unquote, be a billionaire only paid $750 in taxes. William, I don't know how much money that you make, but I'm willing to bet that you paid more than $750 in taxes.
Absolutely. But the thing about it is, what kind of withholdings does he have? What is his portfolio in the stock market? All of those things may be taxable. It's kind of the difference in having cash and having a debit card. You have the money, the money's available, but you're using it differently when it's not cash. So I look at it kind of like that. We can't just look at it like, man, he got 800 million in sitting in his closet and he paid out 750. It doesn't work like that. He got property he's paying taxes on. He's got insurance and other things. And
no, it doesn't work like that, William. It doesn't work like that. Hold on one second, Lisa.
Okay.
No, hold on one second, William. Lisa, are you a Trump supporter? Lisa, are you a Trump supporter? Lisa Peterson, are you a Trump supporter? Lisa. Oh, Lisa. All right, we're going to drop Lisa down. I think that was a tapping error. I don't think Lisa actually meant to join. Guys, keep tapping the screen. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 50,000 likes. Let's get the shares up to 200 shares. Also, guys, W's in the chat for Stacy. Stacy sent a $10 donation to say thank you for always presenting the facts. Listen, Stacy, we have to absolutely present the facts here. Thank you so much for that $10 donation. You are absolutely far too kind. Guys, just a reminder, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all of my pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support the live. If you enjoy the information, education, entertainment, please consider donating. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. Also, if you're over on YouTube, you can send a YouTube super chat and I will read your message out. Guys, keep doing all the wonderful things. William, so your premise is that rich people have other expenditures and that's why you don't necessarily see the taxes that they're paying, but they're supposedly paying more taxes. And you use the example of, I told you Donald Trump paid $750 in taxes, but you're saying that you would have to look at the rest of his portfolio and see where he paid additional taxes at in order to be able to verify that. Is that what you're saying?
Of course, I'm not in his bracket, so I don't know how that worked, but I'm sure it's quite some loopholes that he's able to lessen his expenditure. But just to say 750 cash is what he had to come up with, I can't really see that like that. I couldn't understand that. Maybe it's possible.
Yeah,
but
it is.
I find it highly unlikely.
It's absolutely not only plausible, but definitely something that happened. And I mean, that's why he was so avert to actually putting out his taxes, is because he understood, one, where the money was going, but even more so, two, the fact that he was not paying his taxes. And you see this overwhelmingly, not only with the ultra rich, but also with corporations. They find those multiple loopholes and they target said loopholes to make sure that they're paying as little as possible. While on the other hand, you see everyday Americans not only having to pay their fair share, but they pay a higher proportion of their actual income, because to your point, 20% on on $20 million. Yeah, I mean, it's still 20%, but who feels it more? The person with $20 million or the person with $20,000? If you have to give up 20% of 20 million or 20% of 20,000, who's going to be hurting more?
I don't know.
Oh, come on, William. Don't be disingenuous.
No, well, let's say the poor man would be hurt more. Maybe, yeah. Obviously.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, we know for a fact that if you have less to actual spend, right? I mean, if you tax someone 20% of $20,000, reducing that actual amount that they have left to spend, your money has to go further, even though it's actually less, right? But when you talk about someone that has $20 million, they still have millions of dollars to actually pay out everyday expenses. So that's why the actual cost or the actual taxes being placed on people with massive amount of money aren't as detrimental to people that don't make that much money.
You know, we have to have, my opinion, we have to have wealthy people so that they can be more wealthy people. If they weren't people who did well doing what you do, having lives and podcasting and all of that, what would be the point in you doing it? Now, I don't understand the premise of everybody pointing the finger at the rich when we all strive to be successful. I mean, you're a smart man. I can tell you invested in everything you do. You want the best return you can get.
Yeah,
and there shouldn't be a ceiling for that.
Yeah,
what
you
want the ceiling to be?
Sure. Okay, hold on one second, because I'm gonna actually break that down. But zero, are you a Trump supporter?
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah, I voted for Trump.
Okay, perfect. Give me just a moment here, William. Let me talk to Zero for a second, because the chirpings kind of get to me. Perfect. Thank you. Zero, question for you, my friend. Do you know what you voted for?
Yeah, I feel like he aligned more with my conservative values, with my family.
Okay, cool. So yeah. Wait, I'm a little confused then. So which one of these things align with your conservative value? Was it him crashing the economy, the de-education department, the powerless country, showing off your isms? Or I'm assuming that you're not going to say that you were duped. So which one of those align with your actual conservative values?
Well, I don't have any isms. I do feel that people should come in the country legally. I think that the Department of Education should be dismantled so that, you know, we already have the power to the states, but I feel like they're not really doing enough. And I feel like, you know, like any great thing, you have to have some sort of downfall, and it's just going to be slightly for a minute. I don't think this is going to be a big thing.
So when you say some downfall, slight downfall, not a big thing, are you referring to the Department of Education or the country as a whole?
The economy at the point.
The economy. Okay. So by what metric or indicators do you believe that we're going to be able to bounce back? Like, what's giving you confidence that not only are we going to have an economic recovery after the stock markets are starting to crash, the actual strength of the dollar has weakened, the unemployment rate is up, the Fed is saying that they're looking at increasing the inflation rate, consumer confidence is down, and Donald Trump is putting tariffs on all these countries while not understanding what the reciprocal tariff is, what gives you the confidence that we're going to have any type of bounce back under this administration?
I mean, what you're talking about is fake news. So
what's fake news, friend?
I don't believe that. I feel like
what did I say was fake?
Donald Trump knows what he's doing. I feel like people just got to give him a chance.
Wait, hold on. So I want you to be specific with me, because I want to make sure that I'm honest with you. I don't want you to think that I'm lying about anything. Tell me what I said specifically that was fake.
Well, I know there's this big thing on the there's a recession coming. All the liberals, it's a recession coming. It's a recession coming. It's not gonna come. It's not gonna happen. We're gonna bounce back. I think it's just fear mongering.
Okay, so I guess my question for you is then, like, you're saying that people are fear mongering, but I mean, we do understand that the independent Atlanta Federal Reserve actually has projected. Not only did they say that previously we were going to hit a recession at a negative 2.7% contraction of our GDP, but based off of the current trends and the projections, now it looks like we're going to hit a negative 8.3. So the actual independent agencies that it's their job to actually track this information and prepare us, they're the ones saying that we're heading towards a recession. Are you saying that you don't believe the people that track and report this information independently?
Well, I feel like Donald Trump did a good job. I think he has a great team behind him, and they're doing this for the benefit of us. So we have to take a little bit of downfall for it to go back up. It always happens. That's what has to be done.
Okay,
because
so
if gas will be cheaper again, a lot of things will be cheaper again.
Okay, so but by your premise, right? I think that you're saying two things that are diametrically opposed. So I need to get an understanding as far as where you are, right? Because one, you said that you feel like that it's fear mongering and people are talking about a recession and that's not going to happen. But then two, on the other hand, you're saying that we have to take a step back and it has to be a bit of a downfall in order to get to that progressive level. So those two things.
Well, what do you think is going to happen with a recession? What's the worst? What's going to happen?
Well, the thing is, we see what's happening right now, right? I mean, again, consumer confidence is down. Banks lending is down. Banks are actually, the major banks are preparing additional layoffs. You see massive layoffs, and not only happening in the government, but also the private sector. You now see, again, Jerome Powell came out himself and made a statement on Friday saying that not only were the tariffs more shocking than he expected, but also that basically his idea is to increase the inflation rate all at once and to actually just have a higher inflation rate versus just, an actual escalating inflation rate. So we understand that tariffs are a tax on consumer. Well, you put that additional cost for the tariffs, and you also add on additional inflation, and you also add on people losing their jobs. People can't afford things. Things are more expensive. Those are all key factors for a recession.
Well, I mean, I would say that it's not going to be a long time. It'll probably be a short period of time, and then after that, everything's going to go back up.
Okay, so but at the very least, are you at least understanding and admitting now that yes, it's not fear mongering, we are heading towards a recession?
I mean, I would only agree if when the recession happens. A lot of people say a lot of things. I think Trump knows what he's doing.
What gives you the confidence that Trump knows what he's doing?
I mean, even with his last economy, he put tariffs on people, and the economy was great. It was booming.
Mm-hmm.
So I think
did he put blanket tariffs on everyone? Or did he use strategic tariffs?
Oh, well, strategic tariffs. He didn't do blanket tariffs.
Yeah. And which, like, I'm not one of those people who are just going to say, oh, all tariffs are bad and blah, 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 blah. Like, I get it, right? I understand how tariffs work. I do understand that they're inflationary. And yes, they are a tax on everyday people, but they do have a time and place. I am someone that believes short-term tariffs can definitely actually shift how things work. But blanket tariffs, putting tariffs on everybody. Donald Trump, this is the problem that I have, Zero. You guys keep saying that he did this his first term, and he didn't. He didn't put blanket tariffs on everyone his first time. Zero, do you know that what Donald Trump right now, what he's doing right now has been done 2 times before?
By who? By who?
Guys keep saying that he did this his first term, and he didn't. He didn't put blanket tariffs on everyone his first time. Zero, do you know that it happened twice before, and it's been about 100 years apart. The first time it happened was in 1828. And it was done by the Republican Party, well, the actual conservatives.
All have TDS.
What's TDS? I haven't even talked about Donald Trump. I'm just telling you about the history of blanket tariffs.
Y'all don't like what he's doing, and he's going to bring our economy back.
Well, again, hold on, Zero, because you're saying that I have TDS and I haven't even spoken about Donald Trump. I'm telling you about the history of tariffs. What have I said that makes you even believe that I'm targeting Donald Trump in anything that I said? We're talking about the history of tariffs.
I mean, obviously, you're on this platform, probably getting paid by the DNC.
Oh, so I'm paid by the DNC.
Probably. And you're obviously.
So wait, how? So you made a wild assumption for some reason because I started telling you about tariffs and I'm trying to make the connection for you. Now all of a sudden, I'm paid by the DNC.
Well, I mean, you have TDS. You're sitting up here with Trump on your screen.
How is that? Okay, again,
I
need you to be
seem like he's doing something wrong, and he's not.
Well, I'm trying to explain to you how he is, friend. But again,
you're gonna be happy when it's
take a whole step back because I need you to stay with me on this for a second. Well, one, who's the president of the United States?
Donald Trump.
So if Donald Jimothy Trump is the president of the United States, if he's your president, if he's my president, should I not be willing to actually talk about him?
Yeah, you can, but I'm just saying it's only bad things. Talk about the good thing. He's doing good things right now.
Okay, cool.
Make it into a bad situation.
Cool. No. I'm going to give you an opportunity to tell me about the good things. But again, I need you to actually help me understand what did I say about the history of the tariffs, telling you about what happened in 1828 and what happened in 1930. What did I say that makes you believe that it's TDS?
Because it's not. I mean, you're using something from back in the day.
I'm just telling you that this has happened before.
2025 now. I think things are different.
Listen, I'm not disagreeing with you in the sense that there's a change in the times, right? I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just saying like this approach, this attempt has been taken twice before in history. I'm not telling you that it's the same thing that just happened, a year ago or 4 years ago. I'm just saying that in our country's history, twice before, there have been regimes that have taken the same exact approach. And when they took the same exact approach, I'm just telling you what happened afterwards. That's the only thing that I'm just laying out the facts for you. But you said that Donald Trump is doing something good with the tariffs. Tell me, help me understand, because I'm willing to actually listen to your perspective as far as what's good and how it's actually good.
Dude, we've been getting ripped off by so many people.
Mm-hmm.
So many people we've been getting ripped off by. And we finally have a president who is going to be commander-in-chief and set it straight. Are you not happy by that? Like, would you not be happy that we are getting basically we're not an ATM. America's not an ATM. So I think
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead and finish the sentence.
No, I'm just saying I think that it's a good thing that we're doing reciprocal tariffs on them and getting our payback. Simple.
Yeah, listen, so I have two problems with that, right? And the two problems are, number one, they're not reciprocal tariffs. And I'll explain to you how in just a moment. But number two, you said we're getting ripped off. And I know that Donald Trump has been telling you and everyone that we're getting ripped off. But I don't think that have you ever heard of
I mean, I'm just saying, you don't care about America. You would rather have men running around bathrooms.
Well, one friend, hey, Zero, that's a pivot. We're not talking about transphobia. We're talking about tariffs. So you don't have to actually pivot. We're right here. But again, have you ever heard of the trade surplus that we have?
Who put us in the trade surplus?
It's a factor as far as who we are as a country and what we do. Do you know what a trade surplus is?
Tell me, enlighten me.
Yeah, cool. So we understand that Donald Trump has been talking about our trade deficit, right? That's the discrepancy of where we're trading with certain people and we are paying them more than they're paying us, right? And that's a thing. It's absolutely a thing. But we also have what's called a trade surplus, meaning that there's a certain thing that we export that people, or not people, but other countries, they don't actually import to us at an equal rate, meaning we give them more of this thing than they send to us. So we make more money off of this thing than they make money off of us. Because the problem that Trump has is he's saying that you guys are making more money off of us than we're making off of you, right? That's his whole premise, right?
Which is right.
But he's not talking about the other side of the coin. So a trade surplus, there's something that makes up about 70% of the US economy. And that thing that makes up 70% of the US economy is what we have a trade surplus. Do you know what that is?
You have TDS, simple.
Again, you keep saying that, but I'm just talking about, there we go. That's what happens when you actually meet. That's what happens when you meet someone and they give you facts, right? The crash out and run was wild. The crash out and run was absolutely wild. I have TDS, but yet all I'm doing is actually explaining to him tariffs and trades. Okay. All I did was actually explain tariffs and trades. It's interesting how Trump supporters, for some reason, like to be victimized, right? It's a sense of you guys are actually lying, and the only reason you're lying is because you hate Trump. And at no point have I even really got into what Trump is doing. We were literally just talking about the trade surplus. So I'll finish this thought, and then William, I'll come back to you. I'll finish this thought just for anyone who's interested in knowing. Yes, we do have a trade surplus, and what that trade surplus is that 70% of our economy is tied up in our. 70% of our economy that we actually export out is all tied into our service industry, and that includes a wide range of businesses, including education, healthcare, travel, hospitality, financial services, as well as media, entertainment, and insurance, maintenance, and other repair and charges that we have intellectual property. And what that is, guys, so in 2023, we actually exported $1.2 trillion worth of our service exports, while actually importing $748.2 billion. Right? So we brought in, we made 102 trillion, we paid 748.2 billion, giving us a surplus of 278 billion. But that's the other side of the coin that we don't talk about. And that's something, thank you so much for the thing. That's the other side of the coin that Donald Trump doesn't talk about. And that's the thing that we're actually at risk, because we export about 25% of our service industry to the rest of the world, a higher clip than any other country. It's a thing. It's a thing. Anyway, guys, W's in the chat for Lee. Lee sent a $5 donation saying definitely, Lee, I can't say that term, but thank you so much for the $5 donation, Lee. You are absolutely, absolutely too kind. Guys, W's in the chat for Lee. That's L-E-I, or is that lie? Lee, lie. Anyway, W's in the chat. Guys, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. All of my pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support the live. Thank you for the cake. If you enjoy the information, education, entertainment, please, please, please consider donating. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. And if you're over on YouTube, you can always send a YouTube super chat, and I will actually read that message out. And again, guys, if you're over on YouTube, thank you for the squid. Make sure you like the stream. William, welcome back. William, like, was I wrong, William? I mean, like, the guy was screaming, "You have TDS, you have TDS," but yet, like, all I was actually doing was breaking down like tariffs and how that works. I mean, William, am I like, do you get that?
Yeah, I got it. I was going to get my popcorn and everything, and when I came back, I was off. But you know, we have our point of views about each other from both sides of the aisle, and our idiosyncrasies that we think each other have, and that's just part of really debate that we have. You know, I don't know. There are definitely some people with TDS, and there are some people who may go above and beyond in the defense of Donald Trump.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, and I think that there's an understanding as far as like some people, and don't get me wrong, I hate Donald Trump. I'm just gonna be very clear and very honest. I don't hate many people, but I do hate Donald Trump.
Wow.
Right, and it's not because it's, you know, quote unquote TDS. It's because, one, Donald Trump has been such a divisive factor within our country. I mean, we already understand what this country is as a whole, but Donald Trump has been someone that has fed on the worst part of the country, the underbelly of the country, while then lying, cheating, stealing, doing all these things to actually drive not only a wedge between us and our country, but also to actually drive us down, drive our economy down, drive our standing down in the world, while lying to people and absolutely having them believe the most outlandish stuff, William. And that's, I hate Donald Trump for that.
Well, I personally contend that he is a tool for those who want to do that. He is a vehicle for people who want to use dissension and division and hatred and prejudice against the American people, because ultimately, of course, you heard the phrase, the house divided cannot stand. So we're not standing right now.
Wait, William, yeah. I guess then if you see all these things, right, if you know that it's your belief that Donald Trump is a tool of division and he's being used to actually continue to cause harm to Americans, then why would you vote for him? Why would you support him?
Not a tool in that way, a tool metaphorically maybe, or it's falsehoods. You know, when you're able to be lied on, of course, that's a vulnerability. So people are able to paint pictures of him on the media. Most of the things that he's accused of have not been proven.
Like what?
That he's a thief, or that
he defrauded a charity. He defrauded children's cancer. Like literally, his company was actually found guilty of that. Had to not only pay but disband, and they were not able to do business in the the city of New York, because he actually stole money from a children's charity.
Okay, now you know
so that was proven.
Donald Trump's name, maybe not so much now, and as of the last 20 years.
That's been within the last 20 years.
In the 80s and 90s, let me explain it to you. In the 80s and 90s, his name was used on a lot of marquee things. Well, basically, they pay to use his name.
I agree.
He would go in.
Hold on one second, William. Hold on one second. Zero. I can't even send you a request to come back up. Zero. I'm not going to allow you to actually continue to talk in the chat. So you have a free invitation to come back up. But if you don't want to come back up, mods, let's mute them. I'm not going to let you sit in the chat and talk while you literally had the floor and you ran because you don't want to hear facts. You were scared to actually engage in any type of information. And it's much easier for you to stay in your safe space and call it TDS than actually deal with any type of history, facts, or information. So again, either get back in the box or there we go. William, don't leave, because I think you make him feel safe enough to actually stay up here and talk to me.
He's handling himself pretty well.
I don't think so. Mute up for me just a second, William.
All right.
Just like my brother William down here, he's talking about it now.
Hold on a second. William, hold on. Hey, William. Okay, there we go. Good. I'm sorry. I want to make sure William was muted. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, y'all are, like William was saying, y'all on the left got that racist rage-based stuff. I'm not with that. Trump is trying to make it equal for everybody, a possibility for everybody. That's all I feel.
I hear you. Listen, Zero, I'm not actually pushing back on anything that you're saying. I'm sorry, Zero. I don't know if I called you William. Zero, I'm not pushing back on you that some people do like to race bait. Some people do like to fearmonger. Some people do actually lean into that on the left and right. Let's be very clear. That's not an exclusive thing, right? But the thing that I'm asking you is, what did I say? Right? Because the only thing that I had talked about so far was tariffs and our trade surplus. And when I was talking about our trade surplus, trying to explain to you how America's actually winning, you immediately said, you got TDS, and then ran. So help me understand, what did I do?
They're winning because of Trump.
What?
They're winning because of Trump.
What are you talking about?
Trump strengthened the economy in his first term.
How so?
By his policies that he implemented and the tax cuts that he implemented.
Sure. And that's what I'm saying. Give me a specific example. I need you to be specific with me.
I mean, I'm just saying, I didn't vote for him the first term, but I know that now he's doing something for the country and gonna make it better.
Right. No, and listen, William, again, I'm sorry, I keep calling William. I apologize. Zero. I'm not even saying you're wrong. I'm just saying, can you specifically tell me what it was?
Like he did things like the First Step Act and things like that help. I feel like help Black people.
Well, not necessarily. We'll talk about it. So let's actually break that down. And let me just read this off real quick, guys. W's in the chat for for Carissa, who sent a $2 donation. Said sent $2 to send him a battery for that freaking smoke detector. Yeah, William, that smoke detector is wicked, guys. W's in the chat for the $2 donation, guys. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. All the pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support the live. If you enjoy the information, education, entertainment, please consider donating. Everything is accepted. Anything's appreciated. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a YouTube super chat, and I will read your message out. So Zero, what do you know about the First Step Act?
That it got a lot of people, I think like thousands of people out of jail who were falsely convicted.
Yeah, it definitely was, right? It was a great initiative. And a lot of people say, oh, it was something for Black people, which isn't true, right? It overwhelmingly affected Black people, but it wasn't specifically for Black people. The reason why it overwhelmingly affected Black people is because Black people have a higher conviction rate on false charges, right? And so with the passing of the First Step Act, it actually allowed a lot of people to get the justice that was needed and actually get people released on charges that were not actually valid, right? So that's what it really boiled down to. But what else do you know about the First Step Act?
I mean, I just know what it did, and that's what I heard, that's what it did for us. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, and that's what I try to say. People like to equate it to, a Black thing. It's not a Black thing, but it did help Black people. So I'm grateful for it. But so we know that Donald Trump signed the First Step Act, right?
Right.
Okay, cool. Who actually started the First Step Act bill to be passed?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, no worries. So the First Step Act was a Obama era initiative, right? So this actual bill was crafted and passed through the House and sent to the Senate under Barack Obama. And do you know who Mitch McConnell is?
Yes.
So Mitch McConnell did a couple of things, right? Mitch McConnell actually stopped Barack Obama from being able to elect a Supreme Court justice, because they said, oh, this should be up to the next president, not someone who's a, quote unquote lame duck president or whatever. And so he held up Barack Obama's nomination for a Supreme Court justice, which opened up the door to Donald Trump being able to actually add 3 Supreme Court justices in his first term. But you know what he also did? He blocked the First Step Act from passing in the Senate under Barack Obama. So they crafted the bill, they got everything set, they got it passed through the House, and then Mitch McConnell got the First Step Act to the Senate and said, you're not going to get this win. And he said no. And so the First Step Act that was crafted, cultivated, developed, passed through the House, set on the Senate floor because Mitch McConnell did not want to give Barack Obama the win. Do you know what then happened when Donald Trump got in office?
They signed the First Step Act, correct?
It wasn't that simple. So what happened when Donald Trump got in office? We do know that Donald Trump doesn't like Barack Obama, right? I mean, and we get it, right? The reason why Donald Trump actually originally ran for office is because Barack Obama had a bunch of jokes. Trump didn't like the jokes at the White House correspondent dinner. It was a whole thing. That's why Trump ended up running. But Donald Trump doesn't like Barack Obama. And so they brought the First Step Act to Donald Trump and said, hey, this is a good thing. This is an easy win. You need to go ahead and sign this bill. Mitch McConnell did not approve it for Barack Obama to sign, but the exact same bill, no changes. No changes. The exact same bill they took to Donald Trump. He approved that bill, took it to Donald Trump and said, Donald Trump, you should sign it. And do you know what Donald Trump said?
No.
He absolutely said no. I don't know if you were saying you don't know or if you were saying he said no, but yeah, Donald Trump said no. He said no about signing the First Step Act because he didn't want anything to do with anything that was connected to Barack Obama. That's why he got rid of the pandemic playbook. That's why he actually downsized the pandemic response team. He does not like Barack Obama. He did not want anything in connection with Barack Obama until
Kim Kardashian come in there and, you know.
Yep. But not only Kim Kardashian, because she wouldn't have been able to do it just herself. It was actually Kim Kardashian and his daughter Ivanka who had to actually convince him to sign the First Step Act, saying, hey, this is a good thing. Like, you need this win. Take this win. And so both of them had to actually convince him to sign the First Step Act.
I mean, they got done, so I give him credit for that.
It did. And again, I'm not taking it away from him that he actually did sign it, because he did. But I need you to understand the actual conception process, everything that happened with the First Step Act before we just say, oh, Donald Trump passed the First Step Act. Technically, yes, you're absolutely right. But also, I'm sorry, I can't just say, oh, this was a great thing that he did, because it was so many obstacles that he pushed back on before it was passed. And it was a whole buildup. So it wasn't just something that he did for Black people.
I guess. I mean, I feel like he even endorsed Byron Donalds down in Florida. So the guy's obviously not racist. He likes Black people. So that rhetoric that people push, I feel like it's false.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay. So you think by him actually saying, oh, I'm going to support Byron Donaldson, that's enough to just say he's not racist?
Well, no, I mean, he's dated Black women in the past. Like, he's been in a lot of rap videos. People talk about him. I don't think there was no big deal about him being racist until he ran.
I think it was, but let me ask you this question. Does proximity to Blackness make you not a racist?
You know, you got a point there. I probably could say no, because I'm pretty sure there's people and still be
That's
around.
That's not how racism works, friend.
I could say I know.
Do you know how racism? Do you know what racism is, or race is based off of?
Stereotypes, possibly.
No, race.
What is your skin color?
Race is based off phenotypical characteristics, right? And so it's a construct, something that was actually created as a tool of oppression. But do you know what racism is based off of? Like, what dictates racism?
I mean, how you feel about a particular group of people?
No, not necessarily, friend. So racism is a system of oppression, right? It is specifically a tool where people use that actual, not being a part of a certain race to oppress others, right? And when we talk about being able to oppress others, we understand that white men in this country are at the very top of the patriarchy, and white people in general, right? And so you can't oppress someone that is above you, right? If systematically someone is above you, you can't oppress them. So racism is a downward thing, not an upward thing. So not everyone can actually be racist towards someone. People can be bigoted, right? They can definitely be bigoted. They can have biases, all this other things, but not everyone can be racist.
I mean, I ain't saying everybody is. I know, to me, I feel like Donald Trump is not racist, though. I feel like dude likes everybody, like he has an immigrant right and things like that. So
Okay. Well, let me read a couple of things off and do a quick thing, and then I'm gonna actually let someone else kind of go through this. But guys, massive W's in the chat for Thomas. Thomas sent a $20 donation to say, from T Fizzy, who said Blaga is literally roaches for raid. Guys, W's in the chat for T Fizzy, who sent that $20 donation. W's in the chat for Alejandro, who sent a $5 donation to say, I know America was great when Obama was president. Everybody respected everybody, no matter the views under Obama. I don't know if I can completely agree with that one, Alejandro. I get the sentiment. I think it was more like Donald Trump empower people versus everyone just getting along, but I get your sentiment. W's in the chat for Alejandro for that $5 donation. And last but not least, guys, massive W's for Randall over on YouTube. Randall, what up? What up, twin? Randall sent a $5 YouTube super chat to say, using the words from the 90s, Vanilla Ice, lose the zero and get with the hero. Sorry, I'm old and lame AF. Listen, I got it. W's in the chat for Randall for that super chat, guys. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support the live. If you enjoy the information, education, entertainment, please consider donating. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. If you're over on YouTube, you can do just like Randall just did and send a YouTube super chat to actually help support the live. And guys, last but not least, we have the wonderful, amazing, lovely Jessica Simone. Drop some mother coconuts in the chat for Jessica Simone. Guys, listen, Jessica Simone is not only absolutely amazing, but Jessica Simone is my co-host, my partner for the new Culture and Chaos podcast. Yes, guys. Culture and Chaos podcast. First episode drops April 14th. I hope you guys are ready. Make sure you're following the YouTube, the TikTok, all the wonderful things. But Jessica Simone is going to be co-hosting with me while we're sparring. So what that means is, one, mods, let's get Jessica Simone pay links running in the poll. Guys, let's make sure that we are appreciating Jessica Simone while she's up here. That means gifting Jessica Simone. That means hitting her pay links. That means doing all the wonderful things to let Jessica Simone know that we love her, we appreciate her, and she is someone that we want to hear from. With that being said, Jessica, I would love for you to talk to Zero. Zero and I we got off to a bit of a rocky start. Zero, I can say that, right? Like it was a little bit rocky to start.
Go easy on me, Jessica. I think you're a beautiful black queen, so you don't got to
appreciate that.
Listen, Zero. Yeah, well, like Zero, he and I kind of got, but we're at a point now where we're actually talking, right? So I think I think it's a thing. So Jessica, listen, you have a kinder, gentler hand than myself. I would love for you to kind of actually continue to speak about it. And he's under the premise that Donald Trump is not racist. And I know you've been listening, but Jess, I'm going to give you the floor.
First of all, thank you so much for that amazing introduction.
You know how we do, Jess.
Make sure you guys are subscribing to the Culture and Chaos podcast. First episode will be launching April 14th. Now, I heard you say that Donald Trump isn't racist because, you know, he quote unquote hangs with Black people. Did you know that slave masters also laid with their slaves?
Yeah.
They were hanging with Black people. Were they still racist?
Yes.
Okay. And also, too, racism is systemic oppression, things that they put in place to keep a certain race down, right? And the reason that they even implemented DEIA is because the people who were in marginalized communities were being oppressed, which is why we needed it. So we can all have an equal opportunity, considering the fact that we have the same qualifications, if not more. So if Donald Trump is removing any DEIA program or talk or anything like that, which would put us back into oppression, that would be racism. Right?
I mean, I don't agree.
You don't agree with what? Systemic
I
oppression?
don't agree that him removing DEI or like the Black Lives Matter thing is him being racist. I feel like he's just trying to make everybody equal with a meritocracy, like, you know.
Well, why did we even need DEIA? Why do you think that people were pushing that companies include people of marginalized communities, Black people, women, Hispanics, people who were disabled, but who still could get the job done, who still had the qualifications? Why do you think we started implementing that?
I feel like because there was some sort of type of oppression back in the day, but I feel like we've moved on now. And I think we have a president who's trying to, bring
Back
us
in
all
what
together.
day?
Like, early 1900s. Well, way
Were you
before
living
that.
in the early 1900s?
Was I living there? No, I
Yeah.
wasn't.
It have do you ever think that you've been passed over in a job for somebody of your white tea counterparts?
I have before, yes.
Right. So it's still happening. So what DIA, if you're the same qualified as your white tea counterparts, maybe you're more qualified. You're obligated to get that job because you're better for the job. It protects you. Right. So if he removes that, then now they go back to picking somebody who's mediocre.
Wait, so you're saying that if I am qualified for the job, I might not get the job because they might just have an unqualified white male have the job. So that's why DEI is in place for that.
DEI is in place, kind of like what you're saying. So now that I can hire my white tea counterparts, whether he's qualified or not, they can't just throw away your resume because it say Daquan on it. Do you know that they do that? They have systems in place where it'll kick your resume out if it doesn't like fit a certain name. A woman even admitted, say, if I can't pronounce your name, I won't even read your resume, knowing that you may be the best man for the job. And then if not, we wouldn't even be where we are, because we wouldn't even be in NASA without Black women. But if we stop hiring Black women, our country it's gonna be hard for us to move forward.
But I don't think that's gonna happen though.
Well, but you do understand that hiring practices, I mean, even more so, Donald Trump and the Trump administration rolled back protections, allowing people to discriminate in hiring practices. Now, there was a civil rights initiative that was put in place that made it illegal for people to say, I don't want to actually hire this person based off of the color of their skin. And Donald Trump rolled back that initiative, and now it is no longer illegal. Like literally now, people can look at you and say, you're Black, I don't want to hire you.
Well, where is this? Where is this? So I can research it.
Yeah, I'll pull it up. Go ahead, Jess.
It was one of the first few executive orders that he put in place. Like this was a day one order that he put in place, executive order. And it's, my apologies, y'all. It's also MP 2025. Then now that they can discriminate against anybody. You also to Christians. If you're not Christian,
don't we have certain things in place so nobody does get discriminated? Like,
Right, that's what we're saying. He rolled those back. That's what we're saying.
What did he roll back?
Yeah, so it's the rollback 6 decades of work discrimination protections. I
actually do have it in Trump's first 100 days in my Trump pardons the criminals. Felon 47 has overturned a 60-year-old executive order protecting workers from discrimination. Here we go. Oh.
It's based off of their race, age, national origins, sex, religion, and other protocols. Or I'm sorry, other categories.
Department of Labor, why do you think they removed it? Did he get pushback on it? Because it's unconstitutional?
No.
No, I was asking Santana. You don't even respectfully.
Guys, I just noticed maybe you guys didn't hear exactly what I said. I'm sorry. I apologize. I didn't realize that I got a call while I was reading. But I was saying that it's Executive Order 11246, and it's a rollback on a 60-year initiative that prohibits federal contractors from receiving taxpayer funds from prohibits federal contractors receiving taxpayer funds from discriminating against workers based off of their race, age, national origin, sex, religion, and other protected categories. That's what was rolled back. And also, I'm sorry, let me get this off, guys. W's in the chat for this and that, who sent a $5 super chat over on YouTube. Massive W's, guys. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. All the pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Make sure we're taking care of Jessica Simone. I need to hear Jessica Simone saying thank you, not only for the gifts, but make sure we're hitting her pay links. They are running in the poll in the bio. Let's make sure we're taking care of Jessica Simone. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jess.
Oh, I was just, you pretty much was reading what I was going to say, because I I see the ending illegal discrimination and restoring merit-based opportunity,
Mm-hmm.
which is basically the longstanding federal civil rights laws protect individual Americans from discrimination based on race, color.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yet today, roughly 60 years after the passage, critical and influential institutions, American society, you know, he's saying under the skies of DEIA. So in rolling that back, just like saying like we're not going to work, we're going to go back on merit based, but we were never on merit based before.
Mm-hmm.
So why do if I missed it, why is it that what is it that you love about Donald Trump, Zero?
Well, I do like his immigration, how we are taking care of immigration right now. I think that if Kamala and Joe Biden was going to do
Kamala
it, they
friend.
would have been. I mean, Kamala, if she was going to do it or he was going to do it, they would have been did it. They didn't. And I think Trump is trying to get us back straight.
And what is your biggest issue with immigrants? Why don't you like immigrants?
Well, I
How
feel
do
like
they
people
affect
just,
your life?
like I say, come here. My dad had to come here legally. He's Jamaican. I think you got to come here and do it the right way, like everybody else. Don't try to just come here just because you can. Like we're not an ATM. We're not going to keep paying and helping immigrants.
Is that what you think is happening?
That is what's happening.
Okay, and what is the right way? Can you think that people come here on work visas, student visas?
I would say that's fine, but we don't need everybody coming from all over the world just come to America
Do you
to
think that
see.
people come to seek asylum?
Yeah, but everybody's not seeking asylum
How do you know?
because I know that a lot of them just aren't. Everybody who is coming here for asylum is not. It's not asylum. It's lies.
How do you know?
I mean, a lot of them get sent back because they're trying to just seek asylum and lie about it.
So the people who are not here to seek asylum are being sent back.
Some
So
of
the
them
people
not.
who are here belong here. Asylum is legal. You don't even have to come through a port of entry. All you
Yeah,
have to do is step foot on American soil.
I can agree. I feel that we need to just, close it down for a little bit to get America back on track because we have so much stuff
When
going
were
on.
when were we off track?
Well, when Biden was in office, he had tons of people come across the border every
He
day.
also deported tons as well.
I got a question for you, Zero.
After that, I got a couple of thank yous.
Yeah, he ran again. Go ahead, Jess.
All righty then. Rhea, he didn't have to leave. Rhea,
Yeah.
thank you for the dollar that says, "Hey girlie, congrats again for the podcast, and let Santana know that he was brutally beaten and thrashed, and that girls will always be on top. Let's go, W Rhea and W women in the chat. Thank you so much. Shout out to Rhea, and also give me 1 second. I got one more. And you guys, if you guys voted for Donald Trump and you want to talk about some of these things that are very concerning at the moment, please get in the box so we can talk about it, please. Obviously, we have a very good conversation. We have a good cop, bad cop.
Yep, guys, if you are a Trump supporter, go ahead and request up. Again, this is Sparring with Santana, debates with Trump supporters. We are only looking for Trump supporters. If you're friendly, do all the good things, right? If you are friendly, tap the screen, share the live, do all the good things, knock out the daily gift goal. Also, make sure that we are taking care of Jessica Simone while she's hanging out with us. Her pay links are running in the link tree in the bio. And also, let's make sure that we're gifting her. Again, guys, if you are a Trump supporter, if you're someone that voted and supports Donald Jimothy Trump, get in the box. Get in the box. I know. So listen, the thing that Jessica doesn't know, this is the second time that Zero ran. Right? Zero originally kind of crashed out and left, told me that I had TDS one. I explained to him what tariffs are, how we have a surplus with certain tariffs. Yes.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. It was a whole thing. And like the thing that I've said over and over and over, like I do understand that there is a complete pushback on certain people who don't like Donald Trump and they can't substantiate the reasons why. It's just the feelings in their tum-tum, which I get it. Right. But at no point had I actually expressed feelings. I had only spoke to the actual facts around the matter, Jess. And so there was an issue with that. But again, if there's someone who actually wants to support Donald Trump, if there's actually someone who is interested in actually getting in the box and defending Donald Trump, request up. We have a spot for you. We absolutely have a spot for you.
Also, Tori, thank you for the $3 dono. I appreciate you, love. Drop some coconuts for Tori. He's just extremely uneducated. And I would agree, because some of the stuff he was like, I think, or maybe, you have to understand, you have to ask yourself, am I saying this because he said it, or did I actually read this information? Do I actually know this information? Just say most of the people aren't seeking asylum. How do you know that? I'm not saying that you're wrong, which you are, but how do you know?
Yeah, no, listen, I completely agree. And I mean, we talk about the multiple things that Donald Trump has done and why people are willing to step behind him. One, I think that there's a lack of willingness for people to actually stand behind him currently, because they understand, what that actually means and what that actually boils down to when you actually support him. But also, two, it's a little bit difficult because of the things that are currently happening. Jeremy, are you a Trump supporter?
Yeah, I'm in the UK. I support them.
I hear you. Well, listen, I want to thank you for coming up. I'm going to go ahead and drop you down because, listen, Donald Trump's our fascist. Find your own fascist. You don't go here. You don't go here. Trump
Could be me. Is it me or is it Santana?
country. I think that was me because I was looking around and I seem to have been frozen.
Yes.
That's weird.
Wow. I love that.
There we go. There we go. There we go. Yeah, but again, if you are a Trump supporter, get in the box. This is Sparring with Santana. We are looking for debates. We are looking for debates. We are interested in having debates. If you are someone that supports Donald Jimothy Trump, get in the box. If you are someone that actually believes in what he's doing, if you're someone that's excited about Liberation Day, if you're someone that is happy about tariffs, if you're someone that thinks that there's an opportunity for you to get rich with this stock crashing, get in the box. Jess, they think they're going to make money off the stock market crashing.
They buying the dip.
They are buying the dip. They are absolutely buying the dip.
E-money. Thank you, Erica, for the $22 dono. Thank you, baby. Drop some coconuts for Erica in the chat. Thank you, Hannah. One of my favorite girls down there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, all right. We got William back. We're going to finally finish this conversation with William. We're going to finally finish this conversation with William.
What's
William?
up?
All right, William. So let's get back into it. So your stance is that you were telling me about how from my understanding, you were saying that Donald Trump is a tool of division and chaos, but you were saying that that's not necessarily the tool that you were talking about. I'm a little bit confused. Can you explain that better for me?
He's being made a whipping boy. The first thing, I've heard people say, I'm sure you have, over the last 8 months, he inherited Barack Obama's economy. Well, this is actually still Joe Biden's economy. And what we have to do is, absolutely.
That's not true.
And what we have to do is face the damage that has been done by Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
You know why that's not true, William? You know why that's not true? Well, it would be true if Donald. Actually, let's take a whole step back. Do you know why people were saying, "Oh, Donald Trump was benefiting from Barack Obama's economy"?
Well,
do you understand that?
I saw the statistics, and the economy was on the rise, but it rose even further when Trump took office. But
You're right. But again, what did Donald Trump do within his first 2 years that actually did anything to make the economy better?
He spurred growth by confidence, which is very important in business. It's unwritten, but confidence plays an imperative role in anybody that is doing things for the future. People have to have confidence in you. The stock market works off confidence, a great part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And he did that. He cut taxes, which, like I said, put money in it immediately in working people's pockets.
No, he didn't. I said within the first 2. No, he didn't. So that wouldn't have been anything within the first 2 years. So listen, I'll give you the confidence portion. I'm not even going to necessarily push back on it because consumer confidence is absolutely a thing. And also I do agree the stock market can be volatile and it responds based off of overall confidence. But just to make it simple for you, William, the reason why people said this was Barack Obama's economy is because Donald Trump didn't pass any type of legislation within the first 2 years that actually positively impacted the economy. Like there was nothing that was passed. And then when you talk about the TCJA, when it was passed, the TCJA, yes, it gave people tax cuts, but it added $4 trillion to the deficit, and it ended up being a tool of inflation. So it wasn't something that positively benefited the economy. The reason why people say that Donald Trump rolled off of Barack Obama's economy is literally because when Donald Trump got in office in 2017, he came out and made a press conference and said, we have the greatest economy in the history of the world because of me, knowing that he hadn't done nothing and he was riding the wave of Barack Obama's economy. That's why people were saying that he was living off of Obama's economy.
Have you ever heard the phrase, if it isn't broke, don't fix it? Absolutely.
I agree.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree. Hey, question, William. What happened this time for people to say that Donald Trump is crashing the economy? Why aren't people saying that it's Joe Biden's economy?
Because they're being told that. Let's just go. Let's go into reality. Of all the talk of the tariffs, what the impending doom from these tariffs, the tariffs started Tuesday. They actually started Tuesday. So the stock market has went down, which is basically a correction. And the basic thing about the stock market is this: it used to be a barometer to show the success of our economy. Now it is a mitigated. It's a mitigated chance for people to dictate the economy, and it's a big difference.
Okay, so let's speak to this, and then I'm going to have Jessica talk to you. So the thing is, William, you're wrong. Pretty simple. What actually happened is one, Donald Trump actually infused insecurities within the stock market, right? You said something, William. These were your words. If it ain't broke,
correct,
don't fix it. And the actual consumer confidence super high, inflation was down. The actual growth curve for us was trending upward. Literally, the stock markets were on its highest levels ever. And Donald Trump came in and said, this ain't broke, but I'm gonna fix it, and started threatening tariffs. And when he threatened tariffs, it caused insecurities within the market, which caused not only the US markets to crash, but global markets to crash. With the threats of tariffs, with his actual policies, the way that he started doing mass firing, stripping away fundings, all of these actual things that negatively impacted our economy. So when you talk about what happened from that handoff from Barack Obama to Donald Trump versus what happened to the handoff from Joe Biden to Donald Trump came in, didn't do anything, rode the wave, and got credit. But he has now come in, did a whole bunch of stuff where if he wouldn't have touched anything, our economy would still be trending upward. And now all the things that he has done is to actually collapse the economy. That's the
economy
difference.
Hasn't collapsed. I'll reiterate and say again, the tariffs started Tuesday. Now I've seen the news just like
when did he start? When did he start his actual war with Canada and Canada
I've seen the
and
news
Mexico?
that some companies have laid off and things like that, but I contend that they were already not doing well, especially these car companies. You know, car prices have skyrocketed, and the car business,
and they're up higher with the taxes now.
Under Biden, did you know now? And I know because I went to get a car for my daughter. They offer you 10 years for a car loan now. The max the last time I bought a car was 7 years. It's 10 years now. They'll finance a car because the car payments are so high. That started under Joe Biden.
Jess, that sounds like predatory loan to me.
Nope,
Jess,
that's
what
not
do you think?
predatory loan.
Would
That's
have been
everybody.
president, she would have been able to.
That's across
sure
the
those type of
board.
things
That's
don't
every
happen.
car finance company it is.
Hey,
Yes.
William. I know Jessica William. I know Jessica
Do I need to
Simone
pick up
speaks
my
a little
voice?
soft, so Jessica, you're gonna have to. You are. I know. Listen, Jess. I know over on your live, things are a little slower, things are a little
That's
softer.
right.
This
You
is
got the
sparring.
savages over here.
We get into it. Jess, you gotta listen. You gotta
Santana
throw
and
some
the Savage.
bows.
Well, let
We
me
get
take off
into
my
it.
customer service voice, as Erica was saying.
Exactly. We got to put that away. We got to pack that
William,
one
do
up.
you own a business?
Absolutely.
Right. And then if you know something is going to happen, when you start to make some changes to make sure that your business thrives in the best way that it can.
Oh, absolutely. And I've had to do it, but something
So
had
Donald
to
Trump
happen.
is
I couldn't. I
right.
couldn't
So if Donald Trump has
win
been
this
talking
stuff
about
on what I
tariffs
did.
on all of these countries for the damn near for the last year and a half, and then he wins the election and he's talking about imposing more and more tariffs. As a company, you would start to prepare. You start to pull your money from America because you can see where it's going, right? You would start taking your money out of the stocks. You would start moving money around. That's why this is Donald Trump's fault. They've all been listening to what he's been saying. And like y'all say, he's doing everything he promised. He's doing it. And so they're working on making sure that they protect their business. Everybody's trying to protect their money. They're trying to move their money, take their money out. Everything is dropping because of Donald Trump.
Well, there's very few people that live off saved money and invested money. Most people who are wealthy live off an income, ma'am. And what you have to do is get as much income as you can. You may can spend less, but the moving the money and all of that, no, they didn't do that because it hadn't happened yet. You have to wait and see somewhat. You can't prepare for everything. And I'm just telling you that about money. So go
It's
ahead.
happening. It's actually happening. Are you a part of the 1%?
No.
2%?
Perhaps.
Like skim milk.
Perhaps. Okay.
You make more than $1 million a year?
No, hell no. No. I don't make $1 million.
Okay, so we're gonna drop the percentage a little bit.
Let's get on down there. Come on down.
So it really, do you have like millions invested in the stock market?
No, I don't now. No.
Yeah. So you really, I guess you can't really say what they would do. We're watching them. Even with Elon Musk, in December, he was worth what, 400 million, and now the Tesla's worth 200. People
stock prices have cut in half.
Moving their money, they're taking it out.
Well,
because of what Donald Trump said he's going to do and what he is doing.
Okay.
None of these moves make sense.
Okay.
Which move do you feel like makes sense?
He has to do something. We are in a drastic situation now.
No. What move has he done thus far?
But why?
I heard
exactly. I want to know what he's done thus far, and then also why are we in this drastic situation? Because we weren't in this drastic situation a couple of months ago.
Yes, we were.
No, we weren't.
We
okay, cool.
The Biden and Harris administration, obviously, through through immigration problems and funding a lot of things that were miscellaneous and
like what?
Just all of these charities and supposedly
which ones?
I can't name them. It's too many.
Then how do you know what's happening?
Well, because they gave money to them.
How do you know?
Through
you don't know
Doge,
which ones.
things
you
that
don't
Doge
know.
said, and it's true.
Doge also came out and said that the information that they were given was inaccurate. And Elon Musk said in the Oval Office, yeah, a lot of the stuff I say may not be true. It may be inaccurate, and it's on you to call me out on it. So
not only that, Jess, I mean, we do understand as well that the actual administration, not the administration, but Doge specifically themselves, have taken their top 5 savings off 3 different times. Every time they say, oh, we've actually saved this much, and it's a lot, it's been proven to be false, and they had to actually take those down. They've done that multiple times. They're not saving.
Real accounting is not about a narrative. It starts
but this
with
isn't
numbers,
accounting.
and it ends with
this
numbers.
isn't accounting.
Men lie.
This isn't accounting.
Women lie.
Where's the day got to end?
William, where are the accountants? Who on Doge?
Well, do you know how accounting firm works? Usually I'll give you.
I have
I'll give
a
you
minor
simple one that
in
everybody
accounting.
knows.
And one of my MBAs, I have a minor in accounting. Yes,
That's
I know how
wonderful.
accounting works. Now tell me who on Doge is an accountant.
I'm sure
because
somebody
they
in the
are
group is an accountant. It has to be.
What makes you think?
They're-
Hold on. What makes you think that somebody in the group is an accountant? Elon Musk
Well-
has no political experience, but yet he's the head of Doge.
I have some friends who are big businessmen, and I've been in their office with them, and 4 people would show up and plug into the computers and go through the computers and the books, and only one was an accountant. The rest of them were people who, it's kind of like a paralegal does legal work. Yeah, same thing.
I hear you, but hey, William, you do understand that we know who's on the Doge team, right? Like we know the people that's on the Doge team. You might not know, but we know the people that's on the Doge team. You do understand that, right?
Okay, I'll leave it right there. Let's go. No,
okay, cool. So wait. No. Hold on, William.
Right?
William. Hold on for a second. Hold on 1 second. I just want to make this point. We know that they're not accountants because we know.
No, they don't.
No, William, I'm telling you, we know the people that's on the Doge team. They're not accountants. They're all computer hackers. They're literally hackers. They're not accountants. And they're from the age of 19 to 24. They're not accountants.
These days, that doesn't mean
we know.
Anything. They're 8.
Do you think that?
I'm just telling you the facts, William.
In the scale of accountability. Whomever.
Yeah, stop talking for a second, William. Stop talking for a second, William. Go ahead,
Thomas,
Jess.
thank you. I'm so sorry. T-Feezy, thank you for the $20 donut that says, for the patience of a kindergarten teacher while attempting to develop warped MAGA minds. Thank you so much. Drop some coconuts for Thomas. I'm sorry, T-Feezy. I try my best not to reach y'all. Regular name. Thank you so much, love.
Jess, you were saying something to William?
My thing is, they don't have to. It doesn't. I know this is not a regular administration, so it doesn't have to be somebody from accounting on the team. The man heading it has nothing to do. Does not know anything about politics. No experience. He don't know anything about government efficiency, but yet he is running it. The Department of Education. The lady is the head of WWE. But she's doing Department of Education. They asked her what IDEA, and she said she had no clue. So nobody has to have the qualifications.
None.
Nobody has to actually be an accountant to be on the team, which is probably why they keep firing the wrong people. They keep getting rid of the wrong programs, which means they keep pulling back the quote unquote alternative facts. Every time they get caught in a lie, they don't know what they're doing.
I'm sure you're too young to remember cowboy movies. But in cowboy movies, a lot of times the sheriff would get in trouble and be outnumbered, and he would deputize just regular citizens, right? So with that being said, the president has the authority to pick who he wants to run Doge, whether you like it or not. And I'll tell you this. Here's another tidbit I want you to have. Let me say this right quick.
William.
The director of the IRS is personally picked by the president. He's personally appointed by the president.
What are you talking about, man?
William, this is not a cowboy western. Listen, I've watched plenty of Gunsmoke in my past. I've watched plenty of Tombstone in my past. Yes, okay. I know the Long Ranger. Yes, I do. No cowboy movies. I know westerns. And this is not it. You sitting here trying to say that Donald Trump deputizing Elon Musk is the thing. First of all, he's not congressionally approved. Second of all, they lied. They said that, Elon's in charge of Doge. He's not in charge of Doge. He is in charge of Doge. There's a whole legal suit. Like, which one is it? But more than that, we understand that Elon Musk is not actually doing anything that would actually benefit the country by saving funds because he's lying. Also, guys, holy crap, massive W's in the chat for Kenneth, who sent a $50 YouTube super chat over on YouTube. Guys, massive W's in the chat for Kenneth that sent a $50 send. I really appreciate you, Santana. And can you send 25 to Jess? You know I can. Guys, W's in the chat for Kenneth. Guys, absolutely. Guys, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24, best way to support the live. If you enjoy the information, education, entertainment, please consider donating. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. And again, if you are over on YouTube like Kenneth and you want to support the live, you can send a YouTube super chat and I will also read that message out. Yeah, so Jess, I mean, am I wrong? Is this a movie or is this, a Western? What are we doing?
I cannot wait to write this series, okay? Because I don't know what's happening. Poor William.
Negative 5 out of stars. Wouldn't recommend.
It don't matter if we like him or don't like him. That doesn't make him qualified. You like Trump, but he's not qualified.
What are the qualifications to be president? They're very simple. They're not as complicated as you think. You don't have to be a college graduate. You don't have to have a master's degree. You have to qualify through your credentials. True or false?
And what are they? And is that what you hold yourself to, those minimal standards?
No, to be 35 years old.
You vote for the president, the leader of the free world, and you hold it to those three minimum standards.
I'm gonna tell you what I've learned as a businessman that qualifies people, and that's one word. That's willingness. You can have the most beautiful wife in the world, playboy, playmate, whatever, but if she's not willing to be your wife, you don't have anything. You can have the best employee with the most ability, talent, strength, courage, but if he's not willing to do what he's supposed to do, you don't have anything.
What are you talking about, William?
What is happening?
William, do you know who you are spiraling? I have no idea what's happening right now.
The truth beating him up.
Yeah, the truth is whooping your AWS right now, William.
Is the truth in the room with us?
Hey, language.
Disappear like on Back to the Future.
Another movie, William? Like, what are we doing, William?
Are you okay? Are you well?
He's not.
Oh.
He's
Who,
not.
me?
Yeah.
Absolutely. If he got any better, I couldn't stand it.
I hear you. I
You on
absolutely
Social
hear you.
Security?
Hold on one second. Hold on one second.
Security.
Hold on one
I'm
second.
not that old now.
Hold on one second. Whew. Ultra rare. Are you a Trump supporter?
No, sir.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and drop you down, guys. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter. This is Sparring with Santana, debates with Trump supporters. We are only looking for people that actually voted for and support Donald Trump. Only request up if you are someone that did so. Go ahead and get in the box. You can actually talk to myself or my co-host Jessica Simone, co-host for the Culture and Chaos podcast. First episode drops April the 14th. Make sure you're following us on YouTube. You can find it on all the different platforms. We're going to post it everywhere: Spotify, Apple Music, all those good places. Make sure that you are ready, locked in for the Culture and Chaos podcast. Last but not least, W's in the chat for DeMarcus, who sent $1 donation to say he believes Trust Me Bro accounting. You absolutely know that he does, guys. W's in the chat for DeMarcus. And also, guys, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links and the link tree in the bio. Jessica Simone's pay links are running in the poll. Make sure we take care of Jess. I would love to hear her say thank you for all this emotional labor that she's up here dealing with. William, for some reason, William wants to keep talking about movies. So make sure you guys are taking care of Jess. Maybe she can go watch a movie herself if we do all the good things.
Wow.
Time loop. Back in y'all gotta stop watching them those Western movies. They're out of date.
Oh, cool.
It's rooted in racism and white supremacy, white ideology. You know, you just gotta sometimes you gotta let go and move into the future, William. What are your qualifications for Donald Trump that made you be like, he's the better president?
He was willing to serve the people, whoever they are. He didn't have a specific set of people that he wanted to serve. Now, Biden and Harris chose their constituency, and they were.
Your standards are very low.
No, my standards aren't that low. Absolutely not.
What makes you feel like he's willing to serve the people?
Well, he's
considering the fact that he fired all these people.
He's trying to fix a mess that we're in, and it is a mess.
We weren't in a mess. Like the house was just fine, and you just came in with a wrecking ball and started knocking down walls.
And I heard you speak about DEIA. Well, okay. They done changed it again.
Cool. Hold on. I need you not to pivot for a second because I genuinely need to know this.
Okay,
William.
come on.
you said that Donald Trump wanted to be someone that serves the people. Tell me, is Donald Trump a president for all of the United States? Is he someone who wants to do things for all of the United States, all Americans?
Absolutely.
Cool. So why is it then when states like California have wildfires, he says that he doesn't want to send funding to those states because they're quote unquote blue states, and then he has to be told by his actual staff, like, hey, you do understand that there are some people in those blue states that voted for you, and then he's more willing to actually help those states out. Why would he do that if he's someone that wants to take care of all Americas?
Was Joe Biden president when that happened?
We're not talking about Joe Biden.
Yes.
We're talking about
and
Donald
the
Trump.
answer is no.
You break
Because
it, you bought it. Of course.
The answer. Wait. No. Because you are conflating things, right?
No.
You think that no. You think that I'm talking about these latest wildfires. No, I'm actually talking about the wildfires that happened while Donald Trump was in office, his first term. Boom.
W Santana's in the chat.
Man, I don't know what I did last Saturday. I don't know why you brought that up. You should have said that.
Maybe you shouldn't have the right to be able to vote then, because maybe you might be a little senile.
Wait a minute now. Don't insult.
You just said you don't know what you did last Saturday.
I would like to remain a gentleman now.
These are not my words. These are yours.
Okay.
You said it.
Okay.
I would just, again, I would love to know, how can Donald Trump actually be someone who is a president for all, but yet he's willing to actually put the people in quote unquote blue states' lives in jeopardy because they're blue states, and he has to be convinced to help them because there are some red dots inside of that blue wave.
Okay. I imagine every president has a brain trust. So whatever he deems important, he deems important. Whatever he doesn't deem, whatever's unimportant to him is unimportant. He's just a man. What do you want?
He's not just a man.
Yeah.
He's absolutely not. He's absolutely not just a man. He is the president of the United States of America. He should be held to a higher standard. He is someone that should be above reproach. He is someone that should actually uphold standards and what the quote unquote American values are supposed to be. He is someone at the very least that should care about every single United States citizens in this country, but he's not. That's a qualification of the job. Donald Trump does not meet those qualifications, and you guys don't care because it's about owning the libs, and he cares about you. It doesn't matter if he doesn't care about others.
I believe he cares about everybody. But did you hold these truths to yourself when Biden was president?
Yes.
And what did he do for you?
Yeah, cool. Joe Biden did multiple things, including actually passing the CHIPS and Science Act, the infrastructure bill. We all know, listen, I don't know how much you traveled out of the country, but the actual infrastructure here in the United States is crap.
So what's different about where you live because of the infrastructure bill? Nothing.
Yeah, again, Joe Biden actually passed a 10-year infrastructure bill that actually has improved infrastructure across the country. Listen, the difference between you and me, William, is it's not all. Hold on, no. Hold on. No. Because wait, no. Because you are sitting here saying, "What did Joe Biden do for you?" I don't care specifically about what Joe Biden did for me. I care about what Joe Biden did for everyone. Just like I don't care what Donald Trump did for me, I care about what Donald Trump did for everyone. That's the point. So no, the infrastructure bill has done massive things, including in states that like Jessica lives in, because we do know for a fact that Texas came out, their governor, Greg Abbott, came out and was praising the actual new additions and infrastructure improvements that were occurring in Texas without saying Joe Biden's name, even though those funds directly came from the Biden-Harris administration in the infrastructure bill. Yes, even Republican governors are happy with the infrastructure bill without saying the name of the infrastructure bill. Jess?
Yeah. So, and here in Texas, I don't know if you know, Houston gets a little raggedy, but they're working on that. They're fixing those roads. W. Biden in the chat. Thank you so much. So now I'm seeing it. So Santana may not see it where he is, but I see it where I am.
Well, so fixing roads is usually incumbent on the city. So I'll just say that. Okay, go ahead. That's something that cities do, from parking tickets and things like that.
The infrastructure bill helped actually support those additional funds across the country to state level and local level governments. They actually initiated more funds to help support those efforts to quote unquote fix the roads. That's the point.
Okay. Well, I'm
Okay, and no,
believe in them.
no. You wanted to know what Biden did to affect me or us or whoever. Tell me what Donald Trump did that affected you, that helped you.
The tax cuts he gave spurred growth in construction, in people opening businesses,
That affected
car
you.
sales,
That
grocery
you.
sales.
Can you wait?
You know,
I hear you. Wait. Hold on, William. I hear you, William. Can you give me a specific point? Because listen, this is a conversation I had with someone like for the last 2 days, because he has said the TCJA actually increased the GDP, right? And I'm like, okay, cool. Can you give me any empirical data that actually proves that the TCJA actually stemmed the economy? I hear the logic. I'm not pushing back on the logic. I would just like to see where we can verify that.
No, I can't give it to you. I mean, you know, we're having a conversation. I know that it may be anecdotal, but I personally,
that it may be inaccurate or alternative facts.
Huh?
You said, are you saying that it may be inaccurate or it may be
no. It may be anecdotal because I'm not going to go in and find the statistics, but
Do
I
you know
they're
where
there. I'm sure they're there.
Information?
Ma'am?
Do you know where you found that information?
Just living my life, seeing how things changed. You know, it's some funny things.
Can't be serious, William.
I am serious. Serious.
So you lived your life, and
I've seen things improve. Absolutely.
And you saw the increase in the GDP. And
yeah.
you know it was directly affected by the TCJ Act.
Man, these women was throwing their sons.
Whoa, hold on, William. It sounds like you was about to say something extremely misogynist.
No.
Don't do it. You said these women were. I don't even want to hear the end of that sentence. Jess, you got it.
So you're telling me that you just lived life and you saw the GDP of the entire country go up from your city in your state. And directly affected by the TCJA Act.
These women was getting their face beat, buying all these expensive wigs, throwing
that ain't got
parties,
nothing to do with the TCJ Act.
Eating crab legs every weekend.
I'm going to eat crab legs regardless.
That is a point that we're not at anymore. I see.
And you saw. Hold on. So you telling me you mad because women ain't getting their face beat and buying wigs?
No, they were doing well. It was a lot of them I didn't have to give nothing to because they got their own money. Wait.
Hold on, William. So you're telling me that you were upset that women were independent and they didn't need you?
No, I saw the prosperity in it, sir.
No, he was happy. He said they had money. So what you mad that the women that you mess with need more money right now?
No, they back. Yeah. I don't answer the phone like I used to. But look,
William, hold on. So your premise is
granddaddy is there.
I know.
I'm William, not nobody's granddaddy, man.
William, so your premise is that now you have women that are knocking on your door.
No,
saying they need money. Like you have women hitting you up saying, "Hey, William, let me hold a couple of dollars." That's what you're saying?
Listen, no, it spurred growth in these women who were working women.
No, I want to know what's happening right now, William. No, right now. What's happening right now?
Were better in Trump's first term. Their lives got better in Trump's first term. I saw it firsthand. I saw the growth. Period.
So William, what are you saying now? Are you saying that you have women coming to you saying they need money when they didn't say that before? Is that what you're saying, William?
Well, I'm saying it's different. I'm saying when Trump took office the first time in about 2019, man, times were booming. It were booming for working people. A lot of these people, they don't have great jobs, but the tax cut gave them raises. They were able to go finance cars. They were able to do a lot of things on their own, regardless of who was behind them. And that actually happened. That's a personal experience. Times 10.
But what about now, William? What are you saying now? What are you saying now?
Now things are expensive. The enemy of a bright future is uncertainty. Everybody's uncertain because of y'all, the rhetoric y'all kick out.
Hey, William.
And
William.
people are afraid.
William. I have a question.
afraid to
William, I
stand
have
up.
a simple question for you, William.
Yeah, go ahead.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God. Stop fucking lying.
William, you are up here lying on your game. You're lying
I am
on
not
women. You're
lying.
lying
I
on
am not
the
lying.
state of the country. You are doing a lot of lying, William.
Why? Why would I be lying? What I'm lying about?
You're lying about what the TCJA did. You're lying about what women are actually doing now. You're lying about the actual prosperity that's being uprooted because of some type of rhetoric. You're lying about it all, William.
I'm pretty sure Amazon boomed at that time. If they had money, man, I'm telling you this. I know a bunch of people personally, and their financial life had increased.
I don't understand why you keep thinking that we want to know about your personal experiences.
No, of course, because that's important.
No, it's not.
What you speaking from? You coming out of
speaking
book,
from actual
what
facts,
you need to do?
data.
Okay.
Jess, where are you speaking from?
Oh, I'm speaking from actual facts too. Not alternative, but definitely actual. What are the numbers saying? On an average, how is it affecting everybody? I'm not determining if the economy is good depending on how many times my neighbor gets her hair done, or the lady that I'm dating buys a new wig, or the quality of their wig.
You should, because you can't spend it if you don't have it. So
Did you get a PPP loan?
No. Nope.
Are you talking about in 2020? And what happened at the end of? Now that we know that it was really nothing that Donald Trump did that he put in office, you know what I mean? Tell me what happened at the end, the last year of his presidency.
C-19 did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everybody was sitting at home, right?
Mm-hmm.
Getting money by doing nothing.
Yeah.
And he put his name on those stimulus checks. You thought Donald Trump gave you a stimulus check?
No, I deal with people that write checks all the time, and I know that little part on the left-hand corner of your check is meant to show what it's for, and that's what his signature was on there for. It wasn't. Y'all took it as an ego trip because y'all hate him. But
no, it was definitely an ego trip. It was absolutely an ego trip.
It was
the world
just
is,
a note that it came from him.
People are unaliving in mass numbers that we've never seen before, and people are stuck in their house with no food, no water, and they need help because they can't go to work. And this man is holding up their check so that he can put his name on it. That is an ego trip.
He didn't want to shut the economy down. And I'm gonna tell you right now,
the actual
like
government down multiple times. Yes, he definitely wants to. W's in the chat for Phil, who sent a $1 donation and say, I cannot listen to this man Trump say Trump is for the people when people like me are unaliving. Also, I miss you, friend. Phil, I miss you so much. W's in the chat for Phil, guys. Thank you so much for that $1 donation and always coming through and being on point. Guys, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all of the pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. Santana Speaks 24. Best way to support the live. If you enjoy the information, education, entertainment, please consider donating. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. And guys, please take care of my girl, Jessica Simone, while she is up here dealing with William as well. Guys, her pay links are running in the poll in the bio. Make sure that we are gifting Jessica Simone, and not only make sure we're gifting her, but make sure that we're hitting her pay links and showing her some love. Show her some love. She will read the message out.
Mm-hmm. Somebody be my on Key and Peele when I'm Obama. I need a translator, so translate in the donation for me, y'all. What I'm trying to say, because maybe that's why William can't understand what I'm saying.
It's got to be something. It's got to be something. Maybe it's us.
What I'm
Jess, maybe it's us.
Because a lot of the things you're basing your whole argument on an emotive part of your life.
We're basing our argument on actual empirical data.
You just said you hated Donald Trump.
Yeah, I do, but I do.
And
I absolutely do.
There's people that owe me real money.
I hear you. Listen, but William, that's fine. I don't hate other people on a normal basis. What I'm saying is that Donald Trump actually deserves that type of hate. And that's why I actually hate him. But none of my arguments are based on any type of feelings. It's all based on empirical data. And that's why I speak to facts, and I can actually prove anything that I say. Literally, I can actually prove all of the things that I'm telling you.
That kind of doesn't make sense because hate is a motivator.
Hate is a motivator.
Yes, it is.
Okay,
Somebody
so
hates
what-
you. There's certain things they'll
So
do.
what part of my hatred towards Donald Trump motivates any of the actual empirical data that I'm using to talk to you about him?
It affects your ability to take in empirical data about Donald Trump.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. Yes,
No,
it does.
in no way, shape, or form. If you are
Yes, it
willing
does.
to actually substantiate
not real.
anything, it
To
is
most
not
of
just.
y'all. Anybody that's a Republican and that's YT is a bad person because of
no,
Donald
that's
Trump.
not true. That's not
Okay.
true.
Okay.
I have a lot of Republican friends
Okay.
who actually voted for Kamala Harris. Thank you.
Okay.
Guys,
They got
W's in the
sense.
chat for J Mill, who sent a $1.99 super chat over on YouTube to say Jessica is freaking gorgeous. I'm in Texas too. Heart, listen, you better stop hitting on my co-host. Not you trying to shoot your shot over in the YouTube super chat. Debbie's in the chat for J Mill, guys. If you really want to shoot your shot, first and foremost, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links are in link tree in the bio. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat like J Mill just sent. It's the best way to support the live. But if you really want to shoot your shot with Jessica Simone, jump in the pay links. Listen, there is nothing more attractive than someone who actually speaks directly to what you're trying to hear. And if you hit Jessica Simone's pay links, if you drop a couple of shekels in there, she'll at least read the message out and be willing to engage with your message. So if you really want to get a line through to Jessica Simone, her pay links are running in the poll in the bio. And if you want to actually drop her a message and you want a shot, not saying that you're going to get any type of play, but you know, shoot your shot in the pay links.
It's a good start.
It's a good start.
No. Hey, I'm about to wrap up. I'm headed out to dinner in about 30 minutes. I appreciate y'all, man.
Who are you going to dinner with?
I was about to say, are you going to be able to afford dinner with these terrorists?
A very lucky woman.
Did you pay for her to get her face beat and her wig and all this other stuff?
Probably. I don't know. I don't count everything I give out.
William, again, I just maybe it's me, but maybe I just before he leaves, I just have to know William.
Why the fuck you lying?
Okay.
Why you always lying? Oh my God. Stop fucking lying.
Well, you ain't got it like that. Stop it. Stop it.
Man, come on, man.
Well, you gonna go to the bar and have a drink and try to pay for somebody?
No, actually, I'm going to the Roof Chris Steakhouse at the Hard Rock Casino, man.
Well, they ribeyes are very delicious.
Okay? Get the tomahawk. You got tomahawk money?
I got double tomahawk money.
You hesitate.
What you do, William?
I'm a painting contractor. Thank you.
All right, bye. Tanya, thank you for the $5 donut. I said this foolish little man is the reason we have to fight for the educational system. That part right there, okay? W's in the chat for Tanya. That is why. That is why. The man has the leader of the WWE, head of education. She don't even know what her job is. Who signs up to get fired?
Exactly.
This is wild.
Exactly. Like
that don't even make sense.
And so I'll say this, just guys, if you are a Trump supporter, get in the box. If you are someone that supports Donald Jimothy Trump, get in the box, guys. This is Sparring with Santana, debates with Trump supporters. If you are friendly, do all the wonderful things. For some reason, the likes have not been moving, guys. Can we get the likes up to 150,000 likes? Can we get the likes up to 150,000 likes? Also, guys, if you are a Trump supporter, get in the box. You can support myself or Jessica Simone, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. All the pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24, best way to support the live. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. Jessica Simone pay links are running in Linktree. Also, if you're over on YouTube, you can send a YouTube super chat. We are looking for more debates. So if you are a Trump supporter, someone that actually voted for and support Donald Trump, get in the box. Jess, it's getting harder to get anyone to actually stand up for their fearless leader because they know that they effed up.
We're in the find out stage. First of all, it's every day he speaks, it's getting harder and harder for them to defend it without looking at the lowest of stupidity. You know, like you're like, I'm willing to take a few jabs, but damn, like that, I just can't even stand behind, especially when they begin losing their money. Because let's not forget that there are thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of people protesting all over the country right now as we speak. Right?
Yeah.
They don't seem like the America is happy.
No, not at all, Jess. And
this has never happened.
No, and I'll tell you what. So I was listening to my brother Zeus live earlier, right? And I don't know if Zeus is still here, but W's in the chat for Zeus. And Zeus. Earlier he was actually speaking on the fact he was talking to a guy who voted for Donald Trump, who was a Trump supporter who literally lost $7 million in the stock market. $7 million in the stock market. And he was someone that was crying about his losses. He was literally breaking down as far as, first and foremost, if I lost $7 million, I would be too, right? But the simple fact of the matter is, that's why I said, Trump supporters, what did you vote for? Because it seems like you would have understood that these are the things that you're voting for.
Yeah. He did, like you said, he's doing everything he said he was going to do. Just because he used different words, obviously, I don't know if you can understand, but he pretty much said, I'm about to tank the economy.
He did.
Who's with me? And they said,
yeah, we're going to own the libs. That's what it was about. It was about owning the libs. It was about that. Jess, that's why I asked the question, was it about crashing the economy? Because again, he outwardly talked about tariffs. He talked about how he wanted to do tariffs on everyone. And for anyone that knows anything, we understand that tariffs are inflationary and it can actually be an issue, especially when there's a trade war, right? And we understand that we slapped China with tariff and China retaliated with 34% tariff. It's all bad, right, Jess? But then I asked the question, I was like, hey, did you guys vote for the education department? Because Jess, they want to get rid of the Department of Education with not knowing what it actually does and not understanding that we need those protections that the Department of Education actually provide.
That's why we need it, because like, how do you not know? That's first of all. But two, I also recognize that, when you're putting in, they play the long game. Think about the Heritage Foundation, who's been writing this plan since like the 80s or 90s or whatever. Playing the long game. They've been strategically defunding the Department of Education over the last 10 to 20 years. So if you slowly start taking away money, of course, people are not going to have the programs and the resources, and they're obviously we're going to start becoming less and less educated. So when we get to the point here, you're like, everybody's dumb. We don't need it. And it looks like it, but statistics prove that when people or schools have more money, they have more books, better paid teachers, more programs, then they're able to do better. So it seems like they've been setting this up so that they can dumb them down and they can do whatever they want them to say. I mean, like, it's a whole thing, right? And they, for some reason, people that support Donald Trump believe that it's a good thing. And again, if you're a Trump supporter, get in the box. I mean, I know you see myself and Jessica Simone up here talking, but we're actually just waiting for you. The only thing that's missing is you, MAGA Trump supporters. Get in the box. This is Sparring with Santana. Yeah, we are running through this, but again, we want to hear your side, because maybe you can actually tell us what you voted for, right? You seem to have some type of insight. And so moving on, Jess, I think they might have just wanted a powerless country, right? They want a country that's weak. They always talk about like America first and we don't need other people's, but then you have people making like absolutely the worst takes, like making statements saying, well, we should just eliminate trade, period. That was a real quote from Tim Pool, a right-wing person that was paid by the Republican Party. I mean, not the Republican, but the Russia was paid by Russia. We know for a fact he was one of those content creators that were secretly paid by the Russians. So, but Tim Pool said that we just need to eliminate all trade. For some reason, MAGA thinks that that's a good idea, not understanding that we actually need trade because we don't have everything in this country. Exactly. Anybody that's tried to just eliminate all trades begin to cripple their economy. I want to say North Korea tried to do that. I was trying to do it and it crippled their economy, but I do remember looking it up. Yeah, you can't. We don't have everything.
Nope.
You won't have your laptops unless you want to pay $12,000 for them. You won't have your phones. We won't have certain fruits and vegetables. Some fruits and vegetables that we have only grow better, like in Mexico.
Avocado from Mexico.
In other countries. So this is, I don't know. We can't do that. It's just the stupidity is crazy.
Yep.
Sometimes you'll tell them, okay, demonstrate for me. And they'll just like, all right, I got you.
I can do it.
You don't even, you're not even paying attention. You didn't even hear what he just said, but you know, it fits though.
It does.
No coffee.
Yep.
everybody put something in the chat that we would be without if there was absolutely no trade.
Yeah. No, listen, I mean, like we get it, right? And I can understand, like, even if they don't necessarily know the ins and outs of trades and they don't fully understand it, like I'm not expecting just everyone to be, astute when it comes to trades, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing that I do know for a fact is that there is a subsection of MAGA, of Trump supporters, who literally voted so they could show their isms, right? Just they love their ism, they love their racism, their sexism, their classism. They apparently now love their fascism, right? And they're leaning into all of the isms. They are so happy that they can be, not only with the isms, but the phobias, right? I mean, the transphobia is wild. They come up here and as soon as they start to not be able to defend a point, they immediately try to pivot to that. And they just,
I wish they would just come out of the closet already.
Yeah. Just it's wild. All they want to do is actually be hateful, and Donald Trump gives them a green light to be hateful, and that's what they voted for.
Yeah, because their life is chaos. They're fighting their own childhood traumas. And that's why, you guys, if you MAGAs who are listening, because I know you guys are here, we do MAGA therapy on Thursdays, okay? So if you need any MAGA therapy because you need a safe place to land, it's hard to get out of this cult, come see me.
Yep.
Because it really stems in a lot of childhood trauma. Like we were talking to brother the other day, you lost your girlfriend because you won't get off TikTok. Lost your girlfriend because you won't get off TikTok. Bruh.
Absolute clown.
You need this. You need this. You need TikTok. You need to feel some type of way. Why? Where does that stem from? Y'all need to dig deep. Because your life is chaotic. You like chaos. Why do they love the chaos, Santana?
I don't know. I mean, it may be a part of their culture, right? I mean, we understand that there's certain culture that is absolutely that is rooted in chaos. And just that's one reason why we had to actually start the Culture and Chaos podcast, right? It's to actually dive into the chaos that is occurring in this country while actually giving it a spin of our culture, right? So guys, if you're not following, make sure you're following us on all the social medias, the Culture and Chaos podcast. Myself and Jessica Simone, first episode drops on April the 14th. Guys, I am so excited. Jess, are you excited?
I'm excited.
It's going to be so effing good. It's going to be so good, guys. You can not only catch us on all the streaming platforms, right? Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you actually stream podcasts, we're going to be posted in there. But also, if you want to see the visuals, if you want to see not only myself and Jessica Simone, but the actual visual representation of the work that we are putting in, because we will have actual visuals to everything. Make sure you're following the YouTube. We will be posting the actual visual podcast on our YouTube channel as well. So make sure you're doing that.
Shout out to you. It's a demon for Sister Demon. I don't know, but shout out to you for embracing your blackness. Beautiful. Absolutely. And I just commented from the Culture and Chaos podcast in the YouTube, you guys. So if you want to click on that to subscribe, go ahead and do so. Yep.
If you're over on the YouTubes right now, I see it. It says Jessica and Santana. Subscribe here. Go ahead and follow that actual boom. Subscribe there. Follow the Culture and Chaos podcast. Yeah, do that. And Jessica, I think the last thing that it really hit me when it came to these Trump supporters is I think some of them just got duped. I think some of them they got led astray. They got ran amok. They got bamboozled. Like they just didn't know, and they accepted what Donald Trump was saying and ended up with a banana in the tailpipe, Jess.
Oh, what is that? No, I'm just kidding. Oh my goodness. If you guys, hey J Mule, I'm Jessica Simone. I am JESS.
I was just about to read that off. You got it, guys. W's in the chat for J Mule, who is over on YouTube and shooting his shot. J Mule sent a YouTube super chat for $1.99 to say, shh, I only got YouTube. Where are her pay links? Jessica Simone, get your pay links over there, because J Mule is trying to shoot his shot over on YouTube. W's in the chat, guys. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24, best way to support the live. Jessica Simone's pay links are running in the poll in the bio over on TikTok. You can support on YouTube, and I think Jessica is getting ready to drop her actual pay links over on YouTube. So do all the wonderful things. Last but not least, MAGA, if you are in here, I know you're here. We can see you get in the box. This is Sparring with Santana, and we want you up here so we can have these conversations. Jess.
Oh my goodness. You know what I was thinking too?
What's that?
Especially in our culture. Like I didn't even mean to do that on purpose. I'm disappointed in blackers because we're supposed to all know a scam when we see one.
Right.
Yeah. Like we had to pivot and go around the block all the time. So we know the scams when we see one. We know a hustle when we see one. And so many things that Donald Trump has did. I'm like, how you not see this?
Well,
like,
go ahead.
I was thinking about two things. One, the platinum plan. He only brought it out less than a month in 2020 before the election was over. So he didn't even think about y'all to the last minute. Two, he never brought it up again afterwards. He didn't campaign on it this campaign. It was not on his website. He said nothing about it. I watched the rallies. I watched the speeches. Nothing. And then as far as this immigration goes, on his day out, when he didn't even peacefully pass over transfer power, he signed an executive order for 145,000 Venezuelans to stay here in America. Then used his entire campaign to bash Venezuelans and said it's Kamala Harris and Biden's fault. That's a setup.
Yep.
Whole thing to run on this. How y'all not see this?
Yep.
Yeah, that's it.
I tell you what though, just like so, I'm gonna push back on you a little bit because you know a lot of people say, "Oh, Donald Trump, he's a good businessman." He's not. Donald Trump, he's a Christian. He's not. Donald Trump is someone that cares about Americans. He doesn't. He's none of those things. But if nothing else, Donald Trump is someone who understands his brand and is excellent at marketing.
Yep.
But he's also a damn good con artist.
Yes.
Oh my God. And when I tell you,
con artist I've ever seen.
He scams better than those dudes down in Atlanta. Like it is not even close. Donald Trump with the grift, with the way he grifts and the way he scams, I can absolutely understand how not only did he get Blagger, but he got all of his support. Listen, if you're gullible, Trump got you.
Yeah.
He get you, got you. Artist. Yeah.
Yeah. I conned you out of the presidency. That's the biggest con I've ever seen. When you watch those movies when they're doing heists and it's not that intricate. He's just a con artist. He's so used to just talking and going around. Like he'll tell you the truth and a lie all in the same sentence.
At the same damn time.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
We're gonna cut the dismantle the Department of Education. We're gonna send half the money to the states and they're gonna do twice as good. It's gonna be the best you've ever seen. They're like, yeah.
Don't make sense, but I'm gonna believe you. I'm gonna tariff everybody to make the country rich. Cool.
The lady on Fox said, I'm not worried about my 401k right now. I believe in Donald Trump.
Yeah, I mean, like the thing is he has the ability to actually speak to them directly. He speaks motivation into them, and actually it's the wildest thing. And they believe. I mean, you have people who are coming out and what's the guy? I can't remember. He's in his cabinet who basically said though, like talking about his mother missing her SSI payment, and basically saying her mother would his mother wouldn't say anything. She would just wait and know that it's going to be resolved. But people that are scammers would actually be, up in arms about it. Like what?
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The greatest Florida. Are you a Trump supporter? Would you like to come up? Oh shit, my bad. Sorry. Get your ass out of here.
Yeah.
See, I don't know the history.
Yeah, no,
there's some history around this.
Yeah, there's a lot of trolls. That's why that person has been sitting for a long time. Guys, W's in the chat for Celeste, who sent a $5 YouTube super chat over on YouTube and say, ask Donald Trump about golfing or about dump golfing instead of receiving our
service members' bodies home.
Yeah, I'm confused. What happened?
So I haven't heard all of it, but I did hear
receiving our 4 service member bodies home.
Instead, so
He didn't actually receive the actual service members.
don't care
Because he
about
was busy
y'all.
golfing. Got it.
And then isn't it like a golfing tournament? Mar-a-Lago paid for by the Saudis, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Well, I know it's his tournament.
But I heard it was paid for by the Saudis.
Yeah.
The 4 who died in Lithuania.
I'm
He
gonna do
didn't
this
go. He didn't
because
show up.
this is interesting. Let's see what happens. So we'll try it, and then I'm gonna do a thing. Are you a Trump supporter, the greatest of Florida?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You're not a troll.
No, I'm not a troll. Why?
I thought you might have been a troll. That's why I didn't let you in.
Oh, no.
Okay. And I'm assuming you're from Florida?
Absolutely. Yeah, Tampa.
Tampa. Okay, cool. All right. So let's talk about it. Do you know what you voted for?
I absolutely did.
Oh, cool. I'm happy to know that. So, hey, help me understand. Which one did you vote for? Was it crashing the economy, the de-education department, powerless country, showing off your ism, or did you just get duped? Like, which one did you actually vote for?
Ooh. Can I get all of them for $500?
You can. You absolutely can. So explain it to me.
Santana speaks 24.
Yeah. So explain it to me.
Yeah. So do you know how tariffs work?
No, friend, I don't. Explain tariffs to me.
Okay. So with tariffs, the president is protecting American jobs and industries, and helps. Tariffs basically look at it as a free trade versus fair trade. Tariffs help shield domestic manufacturing and workers from foreign competition. What is the one thing that we know from where all of our business has gone to China? So 2001, the U.S. Basically okayed China to go in the World Trade Organization, and overnight, literally, I think 20% of our manufacturing was gone. Are you saying that's a bad thing?
Yeah, I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm saying. But I guess going back, I help me understand, because you said a lot of things, but you didn't really explain to me how tariffs work, and maybe I'm still confused. Right.
So the Trump administration is using tariffs as a bargaining chip to, force other countries that we have a trade deficit for. Take China, for example. We had 2018, I believe we had like $34 billion worth of goods. And, Beijing, there's a lot of intellectual property, property theft, and, we can make a product here in the United States, but then China will go there and, they'll mimic it, and which is, what's the point? So that a lot of it has, strategic, reasons why we're doing the, and part of the fair trade. If one country has a tariff of how, whatever, 40%, and he's not even making it equal, he's bringing up he's only going half between what the gap is to what he's not going all the way. He's not saying it's equal. So it's way overblown. It's the long game. We're going to have some short-term, issues, and you just got to, live it through, basically.
Got it. I don't think you know how tariffs work. Jess, you were about to say something?
Jamie, thank you for the $20 donut. I said, yes, ma'am. Jamie, you're putting money where my mouth is. Come on now.
That's right.
With love from San Antonio. I appreciate it. And I just
speaking of, let me just say, W's in the chat for Anthony, who sent a $10 donation to say, why is he not being direct and how it works? The reason why he's not being direct is because he doesn't know how it works, and I was clocking it. Also, W's in the chat for Anthony, who sent a $5 donation, said, ask for a simpler version like they usually want. Listen, don't worry, I got it. We're good. Like, I promise you, I already clocked it. Doesn't know how actual tariffs work. And also, W's in the chat for Nicole, who sent a $1.99 super chat over on YouTube. Guys, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24, best way to support the live. Everything is accepted, anything's appreciated. Jessica, you were saying something?
I just want to know. I get that, like, we're in deficit with someone. We really don't want this reason on bargain chip. But how do the actual tariffs work? We do what? Who
Right.
pays what? Like, how does it actually work?
Yeah. So tariffs are, I guess, another term you can use is it's a tax. It's imposed by the governments on most. It's goods and services, but we're talking mainly goods here.
Okay, so
imported from
if
other countries.
America puts a 25% tax on
Yeah.
China, what happens next?
So China, usually what they have been more recently, they would retaliate and increase the.
That's not what she's saying.
Well, she's asking what would China do?
No, I'm saying like you said,
what she's
this is
saying.
how does the tariff work? If the United States puts a 25% on China, it could say we put it on
Steel.
Lithuania.
Oh, okay.
It don't matter the country. We put it on, and then how does that help America?
So
or what happens? Like, how does the tariff work? Why are people? How does the tariff actually work?
So let's say we put just say steel or something like that. So how it works is we put a 25% tax on that on their steel, so they have to pay the import coming here. And so what they'll do is they will raise the price. So in the short term, it's going to cost more money. That's where the pain is.
For
That's
who? It's going to cost more money for
the American, the consumers in America. Us.
Okay.
You.
So we're gonna. So with this tariff, with the 25% tariff, we're guaranteed to pay at least possibly 25% more on whatever product or good that we're buying.
Correct, in the short term.
Okay,
yes.
so consumers pay more. Got it. America pay more
because they put it on they put the burden on the who wants to
on
buy
us.
It. Yeah,
on us. There go America first, right?
Well, no.
America pay first. Okay.
So what happens is that if it's going to cost more money, it incentivizes domestic manufacturing. Now, the one point I want to add is you don't put a tariff on goods that you don't produce at home. That's one thing you don't do.
So, but if they're doing blanket tariff, then it means that he's still putting tariffs on everything, whether it's something we make at home or not, right?
Yeah. So there's correct. So he is trying to. So for I don't know, give the example for the. He's trying to get so a lot of the tariffs that we have on the books today has been from World War II on how we help rebuild other nations' economies. And so those haven't changed in about 80 years, 70, 80 years. So why are we still paying the tariffs that we helped rebuild Europe or Japan? It was called the Marshall Plan. Like, why are we still doing it in 2025? It doesn't make any sense.
No, I'm saying these tariffs that we have now, though,
right,
where we've confirmed that America pays the tariff, basically, right?
It's put on the consumer.
All of the consumers, everything that we buy is going to go up because he put a tariff, whether we make it at home or not. He put a tariff on it, correct?
That's correct.
So we're all going to pay for it. So how does that help America?
So
that means we're going to be in more debt than we are because of the average American claim that they can't afford eggs already, which is why
they
put a felon in power now because they needed $2 off of eggs. Well, so how are they going to be able to withstand like a $6 increase on everything? How are they going to be able to withstand an increase on everything?
So it's going to incentivize to. No, obviously, you're not going to buy the product and that product that has a tariff on it. That's going to incentivize getting that product from other countries.
So you think that you're saying that because say the company doesn't buy it anymore, you think that they'll get up and leave Japan and come to America and we have how many countries? Like 295 countries.
192.
So you think we're going to? I'm at 195. You think they're going to just sell to somebody else?
The country we put the tariff on, you mean?
Like say we put the tariff on China.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying randomly for cell phones.
Couldn't
they just sell to somebody else? How do we know
it? But who are they going to replace? America is the one that
What if they don't even have to replace it? What if they also, just like us, and like, oh, we're not going to buy it? What if they adjust?
Well, who has the spending power as America? No one else does.
The rest of the world. Listen, so I've been letting Jessica Simone hold your hand with a napkin in between and try to slowly walk you through this, right? But I'm not that friendly, right? The simple fact of the matter is you didn't actually speak to tariffs, right? Tariffs are a tax on the consumer. The tariffs are placed by the country on the actual, so the actual importer pays that tariff, and they then pass those additional costs off to the consumer, so they raise the overall cost. Now, you speak about Donald Trump and his actual tariffs, but you don't necessarily talk about two things. First thing, which I am going to make a video on this, is the surplus that we have. Donald Trump likes to talk about the opposite end of the coin, where we have a trade deficit. Yes, there are multiple countries where we have trade deficits, but there's also multiple countries that we have a trade surplus, where we are actually selling more to them than they are selling to us. Yes, 70% of our economy comes from our service industry, and we export 25% to the world, and we have a surplus on those service industry things, whether you're talking about movies, whether you're talking about healthcare, all of those types of things. So there's that. But then also you talk about Donald Trump and the way that he places tariffs, right? And they're not reciprocal tariffs. He actually did the most like idiotic thing when it came to actually creating these tariffs. He took the trade deficit, divided the trade deficit by the total trade amount, and then divided by 2. That's the math on how he created these actual reciprocal tariffs. They're not strategic. There was no actual planning behind it. He basically said, we got more money than you. So since we got more money than you and we spend more money than you do, I'm going to make the people that live here pay more for your products. That's insane.
So you did make you made a point that the United States has surpluses with other countries, and we do. But overall, like if you take every country, we're still at $130 billion deficit in the entire world.
So what happens when the rest of the world decide that they're going to play, they're going to play hardball with us and start putting tariffs on our actual largest export? Again, we export 70% of our service industry. We export 25% to the rest of the world, and it's 70% of our economy. What happens when they target that specifically? Is our economy not going to take a massive hit?
Well, it depends. So like Canada, we export the Canada export or imports from us about 70% of their GDP. And we only take, it's like 2 or 3% for the United States. So we have a bigger bargaining chip. We're, as of right now,
Donald Trump is getting us into a trade war. And my point is, what happens when other countries retaliate on something that is ultimately massively something that actually controls our overall economy? Understanding that 70% of our economy is directly related to this. When they start saying no more movies, no more doctors, no more like all of these other things, what happens when they actually put those type of tariffs? They pull those actual permits and those types of things that actually allow the United States to export something. We do understand that the actual export rate of our service industry has increased year over year, while everything else, as far as what we export, has decreased, except aircrafts. That's the only military, us sending those out. That's the only other thing, the only other export that has increased. Everything else has decreased. We are sending and selling less to everyone else except those 2 things. And if other countries say, you want to play hardball, we're going to tariff those things, it's going to massively hurt our economy.
Right. And so the thing I stated is that we can obviously both countries, if you have a trade war, both countries are going to suffer ultimately.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So who's going to outlast the other one? That's the game that we're playing. And we're the biggest, we're the most powerful country in the world. We can outlast Canada. That's the goal.
But why though? Why are we doing that?
Because we can destroy them.
Starting a war for no reason. Everybody was
because to make things fair.
It's been fair.
Hold on. Let me read these off because we're backing off. I mean, we're backing up, and I want to get to these, and then Jess, I'm going to let you have them. W's in the chat for Erica, who said a $25 donation, saying he's saying a whole bunch and still didn't say anything. You absolutely know that. That was a lot of nothing. W's in the chat, massive W's in the chat for Anthony, who said a $40 donation, saying challenge, let's try to act less intelligent than MAGA. Listen, I couldn't do that even if I absolutely tried. I've tried it, can't pull it off. W's in the chat for Jay Mule, who sent $1.99 super chat over to say, can't help myself with the hard eyes. Listen, again, you shot your shot. All you can do, listen, you miss every shot that you don't take. So I respect that. And also, guys, W's in the chat for Randall, who sent a $10 donation saying, or super chat to say, if an if, and that's a big if, it takes 3 to 5 years for any large company to decide whether to invest in and build a new plant, and typically they don't ever decide to build in a times of uncertainty. Yes, you're absolutely right, Randall. Like, this is doing multiple things that overwhelmingly harm our economy because of this actual trade war. Guys, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links are in links in the bio. Santana Speaks 24, best way to support the live. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. Guys, make sure you are showing love to Jessica Simone, the one, the only Jessica Simone. Make sure you're hitting her pay links, gifting her, doing all the wonderful things. Jessica, Ryan, I'm gonna let you finish talking to Jessica. Ryan,
huh?
You got it right.
Is that his name? Ryan?
Why do you know Brian?
I said Ryan.
Oh, Ryan.
That's your name, right?
Ryan?
No, it's Brian.
Brian.
Your name's Brian?
Yeah, with a B.
Okay. Got it. Go ahead, Jess, because he made a statement talking about, oh, we can outlast, da-da-da-da-da. Jess, do you want to tell them what happened last time with the trade war with China that Trump started and what happened to our farmers?
Any money that he claimed to have made, we had to bail them out. And let's not forget that he forgot about the minority farmers too. And I want to say W. Biden's in the chat for bailing out those black farmers. But the trade war, it bankrupted our farmers. I remember people making videos of them throwing away milk and all of their spoils because they couldn't get it off. Pause. That does not help us. That bankrupts us. So he's firing people in America. We're at a trade war. You're going to bankrupt the farmers. You're deporting all of the immigrants. None of this helps America first. All of this is a recipe for disaster. And it really seems like only thing we'll be getting first is we're going to feel the effects first.
Right, in the short term. And the United States.
How long is the short term? How long is the short term?
That's the biggest question. How long is it?
Has
so
farmers recovered yet? Have those farmers from the first trade war, have they recovered yet?
I would say so. Look at Canada. They don't buy our milk.
Wait. So all those legacy farmers who actually lost their W's in the chat for user Michelle Blue, who had that became a subscriber. W's in the chat for you. Thank you. So all of those farmers that had to actually sell off their farms to these massive, large farms, and the farms that were in their families for a long time, they've recovered by losing their farm. Is that what you're saying?
Well, no, not the smaller farms, but like the medium to large ones. Yeah, they've
Go ahead, Jess.
recovered.
Joanna, thank you for the $5 dono that said, I love seeing smart, beautiful women doing smart, beautiful women things.
That part.
Shooting my shot too. Put me in the running. Let's go.
That part. Let's go.
Joanna's in the chat. Okay. I love it. Come on now. I forgot. Oh yeah.
We're talking about the legacy farmers, and he was saying that he was saying it was short term, even though a lot of those legacy farmers haven't recovered because they lost their jobs. They lost their farms.
How long is short term for you?
I would say.
What do you consider short?
Well, we have elections every 2 years, so I'd say 6 months to maybe 18 months at most.
So if they're still feeling the effects of it, then that's not short term, correct?
We're talking about the legacy farmers, right?
Yeah, not only the legacy farmers, but the black farmers haven't recovered either. They're still trying to get their payments. Yeah, smaller farmers. How about that? Minority farmers and smaller farmers, but they're mostly our minority and black farmers. Yes.
We see that with not with just farmers, but like people losing their house. You have like BlackRock buying, spending a lot. I think it's wrong, but
that's because of Donald Trump.
No
regulations, the Tax Credit and Jobs Act. The CARE Act, all of those combined allowed companies like BlackRock to be able to buy up as many residential properties as they see fit.
Also, the repeal of the 2018 repeal of the Economic Growth Act, that also did it. And also, W's in the chat for Tori, who sent a $3 donation, said, how much longer? Are we there yet? I don't think so, Tori. W's in the chat. Go ahead, Jess.
Yeah, so all of that is because of Donald Trump.
How is that Donald Trump's fault?
Well, if you think about the Tax Credit and Jobs Act, it provided opportunity zones, which allowed people to buy properties in quote unquote opportunity zones, and they didn't have to pay taxes on them on their purchase, right?
Right, correct.
Right.
What was
and
wrong
then
with those opportunity zones?
If you But who mostly has money to purchase in opportunity zones?
Corporations, large people,
Right. Because
family,
if you're doing it, say in a poor area, they don't have the money to buy there.
right.
And then they don't have to pay taxes for, I think, like almost up to 10 years. They
Mhm.
don't have to pay taxes on the initial purchase either for that
Mhm.
year.
Yep.
Then you have the deregulation of the Dodd-Frank Act, which allows them to even borrow more money, so they have more capital, as well as the CARES Act as well. So if you're pulling these deregulation back, and then now these corporations can buy as many residential properties as they see fit, they can buy in these opportunity zones, and they have more capital. They can get more loans. They can and they have all this money, and so now I can even buy up more property, and they're driving up the price, which is why Kamala Harris say she wants to come in and stop the gouging on housing, because they're all working together and using the back end so they can raise the price collectively, because they have bought up all of the supply, which is another reason why she wanted to build 3 million houses over the next 4 years, so that we can flood the market with more homes, so that we can bring down the cost of living.
Well, what kind of homes was she referring to, though? She was referring to single family homes,
What was she referring to then?
multifamily homes.
Did she say that?
Yeah, she did.
Where? I need you to cite that.
It was in her town hall meeting at CNN.
Do you think that she just want, even if she said multifamily homes, you think it's just all 3 million
she didn't,
multifamily
Jess, but
homes?
she didn't. But
I don't remember her saying that. Because why would I do multifamily homes when I'm trying to help people, give them a $25,000 credit down payment so that they can be able to purchase their home, which is most likely a single family home, their first home. Either way, it floods the market with more supply, so that we can lower the prices.
So
right,
the $25,000 credit, where's that coming from? It doesn't come out of thin air. You're borrowing.
You
more
care
money.
about the $25,000 down payment, but you don't care about the 25% tariffs that everybody in America has to pay.
So there's
you care about where that comes from, but you don't care about where people are going to get the money to pay when everything goes up.
That's why you find another product. And the thing with opportunity zones, if there was no law like the Tax Cut and Jobs Act, those areas that were downtrodden and not in good shape, then they would still be in the same condition they are today than they were back then. So
some of them are. Some of them didn't even finish building, because technically they don't have to finish building on it. They have up to 10 years. They don't even have to pay taxes on the property. And what it allows them to do, if anytime they see fit, they can gentrify that area, because all they have to do is raise up the price of everything, and then people will start moving out. So that's not an opportunity. It's an opportunity for them, but not for that particular neighborhood who may be pushed out in the future.
Well, I just want to call this out. I just want to call this out. And this is for you, Brian. And for anyone that's actually interested, as far as what Kamala Harris had, what she was talking about with the actual planning of the tax credit for first-time home owners. No, she was not speaking to multifamily homes. She was talking about those single-family homes. If you go to taxfoundation.org/research/all/federal/Kamala-Harris-tax-plan-2024, it gives a comprehensive breakdown of not only what the proposal was, the actual impacts that they were looking to stem, the actual requirements in order to be able to receive it, the income level, the actual type, the actual amount on the homes, how it would actually impact the GDP, the different factors around anything else when it comes to like stock buybacks, and just like they did a comprehensive breakdown of what this actual plan would do, how it would work, who it would benefit. And overall, I'll just leave you guys with this. Overall, the one thing that I love that this points out that is that if this plan would have come to pass, an unexpected benefit of this policy would have been, or could be, that it would wipe out deficit reduction tax hikes. So specifically things that would actually hurt our economy, this would actually improve those things. It was something overall that would have had multiple impacts directly and indirectly that would benefit not only individuals, but our country as a whole in multiple ways, where for individuals who were in certain income groups, long term, let's say the people that fall in the income bracket of the 0 to 20%, they overall would have an increase net add to their total value of 11.8%, right? And then the people in the next group from that 20 to 40% would have a 1.6 increase. So it talks about all of the massive things that it would do, not only to help give those people who needed this actual opportunity more money in their pockets, but it would actually help create generational wealth. I'm sorry, Jess, you got it.
Julie, thank you for the $10 donut that says I could listen to you all day. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you, Julie. Coconuts in the chat for Julie. I was thinking, you was like, where are we gonna get that $25,000 from, right?
Yeah, it would increase inflation, basically, is what I'm saying.
None of the stuff Donald Trump doing is increasing inflation.
But also it wouldn't.
It's not increasing inflation. It's increasing the prices short term, correct? Yeah, but it has nothing to do with inflation.
So this is what I was thinking. Since Kamala Harris doesn't play golf, right?
Not that I know of, no.
Kamala Harris probably wasn't planning on going to the Super Bowl. That $20 million we paid for Donald Trump to go to the Super Bowl, and all of the hundreds of million we paid for him to go golfing, we could easily put that towards $25,000 down for our new home buyers. So obviously we have it.
No, yeah, it's peanuts.
So we don't have to worry about it come from. We have it. Just like he had it. We had it for him to do nothing. We have it for Kamala Harris to help the American people.
Well, he's the president.
She would have been the president. If she was the president, she wanted to give $25,000 for down payment for new home buyers, first-time home buyers. And he decided to go to play to the Super Bowl game. I think he went to another game in like Alabama or Arkansas.
He went to the Daytona, the race car race.
Right. So we have to pay for that every time he goes. And every time he goes golfing, we have to pay for that too. He spent like almost 300 million of taxpayers' dollars going golfing during his first term. Mm-hmm. We could have easily used that money.
Yeah. Also, I just want to call this out real quick because, again, the actual plan that I spoke with, the actual detailed breakdown, not only does it describe the benefits of the actual tax credit. I mean, it's a comprehensive look at Kamala Harris' proposed tax plan. And with this proposed tax plan, not only was she going to actually push that tax credit, but she was also going to expand on the corporate alternative minimum tax that was introduced in the Inflation Reduction Act, pushing that from 15% to 21%, and also quadrupling the stock buybacks tax implemented in the Inflation Reduction Act from 1% to 4%. So what she was actually planning on doing in order to be able to provide that $25,000 tax credit was simply by making corporations and the ultra wealthy pay their fair share to offset it, so it was not going to be inflationary. I'm sorry, you got it, Jess.
I mean, that was like wrapping it up with a nice little cute little bow. What color is that bow?
Mm-hmm. Red.
So yeah.
Still, it's going to raise the housing prices with inflation. Like, and
I just told you how it wasn't going to raise inflation. What are we talking about?
No, it's gonna.
Are you listening?
I am listening. So
are you listening to respond? Or are you listening to receive?
And the government's not going to build these homes. They're going to a lot of these places around the country.
Guess what? That's another thing Kamala Harris is going to do. Start giving more contracts to smaller businesses to get the middle class booming and small businesses booming. Start giving them more contracts so that they can be able to thrive in the American dream.
No. I said there's a shortage of home builders in places around the country. Like there's no home builders.
There's no home builders. I know people who build homes.
I said there's a shortage of home builders in certain parts of the country where they can't keep the demand out far paces the.
Where are you getting that information?
I can pull. I don't have. You want me to pull a source? I mean, that's the issue with that plan. I honestly think.
How is that the issue with that plan? If we're able to, hire smaller businesses, right, and they begin to start booming, then they can hire more people, and they can also push them out to those places that you claim that are having a shortage. But it would have been building up the American people, and we could have hired more American people.
we're talking about home builders. That's
Right.
a very, very, that's a delicate, specific industry. You can't just bring in, why don't we just open the borders and let more, people in? I mean, that
And
would
then
help,
we'd have
right?
more homes. Because obviously, if Americans don't know how to build homes, we need help there.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, I just want to call out, and you can actually find this information on marketplace.org 2024. It actually speaks to the instability as far as the housing market when it comes to home builders, right? And it says home builders are facing shortages, high costs, and as a whole uncertainty. And it goes into speaking about some of the biggest challenges for the home builders, and the actual challenges stem from a couple of things. We did actually speak to labor, but the issue, like the biggest issue is the 250,000 open positions that they're trying to fill. They don't have enough people to actually fill to fill these positions within the construction industry. Hey, Brian, who is the biggest subsector of people that fill positions in our construction industry?
Yeah, low skill and low educated labor.
High skilled.
Exactly.
So how you call them low skilled and low educated, but the Americans don't know how to do the job?
Exactly.
So you saying the Americans is dumber than that?
No, what I'm saying.
No. The point that I'm trying to get to is who props up our construction industry? And fun fact, I'll give you a hint. It's the same people that actually prop up our service industry and also our hospitality industry.
Yeah, I already know where you're trying to go.
You gotta tell us who is it?
You want me? You're trying to refer to the undocumented
immigrants. Absolutely. So we know for a fact that one, there's an issue with filling positions in the housing market. Two, the undocumented immigrants are someone that actually props up those positions and actually help fill those positions. And three, Donald Timothy Trump wants to do mass deportation, which would actually cause more of a collapse as far as being able to build these homes. Hey, Kamala Harris actually wanted to give people pathways to citizenships, including actually improving the process to not only seek asylum, but to be able to be seen by judges at the border and actually improve how we actually have people come into the country. So if these people had better pathways to citizenships, they were actually able to get some type of amnesty and fill these positions, no longer being undocumented immigrants, but documented immigrants, and they could actually help this crisis. Donald Trump is just trying to exacerbate it. Sorry, you got it, Jess.
Taylor, thank you for the $10 donor that says, mic drop, Jess. Thank you so much, like Obama. You feel me? Uncle B, thank you for the $20 dono. I appreciate you. Uncle B, you always show love. I appreciate you. So yeah, there you have it. So we need them. We need them. And you wonder why we don't have any houses. We can't build any houses. There's a shortage.
They're getting paid under the table, and they're getting paid basically
like
slave
he
wages.
just said, if Kamala Harris wants to give them a path to citizenship, then we could give them more competitive wages, right?
So we should just reward bad behavior. That makes sense. Yeah.
What's the bad behavior?
Coming in this country illegally? Is that right?
No, undocumented does not mean that you are illegal. You could be awaiting while you're here. Awaiting citizenship, awaiting for your green. You could be awaiting for everything to be processed. Undocumented does not mean that you are illegal.
Yes, it does.
No, it does not. Do you know that all those undocumented immigrants that Greg Abbott sent up to New York, if they were illegal, he could be charged with aiding and abetting illegal immigrants. They weren't here legally.
Too, Jess.
Huh?
Trafficking.
Yeah. Those so many charges. If they were illegal, he could have just sent them back.
Well,
but they were here legally.
Why did he do that?
He did that to send a point. It's a political play.
No.
But what I'm telling you, regardless of, they're not illegal. They're undocumented though. And why is it that you're mad that the people that are coming over here are running from whatever they are leaving, packing up their entire life? It has to be something to make them travel across country to get here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then why aren't you mad at the companies who's paying them under the table?
Oh, I'm equally mad. If they're paying these people under the table, they're not paying taxes. It's lowering wages.
Then why not target the companies?
Oh, absolutely, 100%. They absolutely should. I'm in total agreement.
Why do you think they're not?
because it's cheaper to have the late. It's not on their books. They pay, the companies pay less taxes too.
Because you know Donald Trump did the same thing, correct?
He did.
He hired undocumented immigrants.
He hired
Absolutely did.
undocumented Polish migrants back in the early 90s.
No, more recently than that as well. He hired undocumented immigrants to work at Mar-a-Lago, where, fun fact, there's still undocumented immigrants working at Mar-a-Lago today.
I highly doubt that.
Cool. I'll get the information.
Yeah,
W's in
I
the chat
just
from
saw the video
Michelle.
of them being interviewed in 2019,
Mm-hmm.
and not the ones that necessarily he's talking about, the ones most recent in 2019, and then said that they were undocumented. He knew that they were undocumented, and when they were going to get audited, somebody would come pick them up in a car, take them somewhere, and get papers just so that they could have in case they asked them for them.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. W's in the chat from Michelle, who sent a $5 donation saying, ask why they dismantled the Department of Education. They don't know. They don't like people to know things. That's why they did it. W's in the chat for Uncle B, who sent a $20 donation. W's in the chat for Uncle B, guys. Thank you so much. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all of the pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. Best way to support the live. Everything is accepted. Anything's appreciated. Jessica Simone has her pay links running in the poll in the bio. Make sure that you're taking care of Jessica Simone. Make sure you're hitting her pay links. And also, guys, if you're over on YouTube, you can send a YouTube super chat to help support the live. But at the very least, guys, like the stream. Make sure you're also following me over there. Jess, I'm going to let you finish up that part of the conversation. I'm going to pull up this information about the undocumented immigrants that are employed by Donald Trump.
Yes, no problem. So there is a video of 19 different undocumented immigrants talking about how they work at Mar-a-Lago, and some also work inside the Trump home. And he knows that they are undocumented. So this is not only recent, but sometimes zebra doesn't change the stripes. Something like that. It's a leopard.
Well, I mean, the reason I would say it's not because there's such a high, hourglass on him. Like any mistake he does. Well, that would be on the front page, wouldn't it?
Who you think in Mar-a-Lago is going to tell on Donald Trump? They're all scared of him. Who do you think in Mar-a-Lago is going to tell on him? The people who are working, they don't want to get deported, so they're going to do
government regulators that go in for the I forget what is the you have to fill every job. You have to have a social security number.
He's the president.
No, you're referring to the last, like, he's only been president for 60, 70 days.
Okay.
So this is when Biden was president. You don't think that they would try to get Trump?
When I saw the video in 2019 and they were interviewing him, he was president then too.
Right. I don't know what. Do you have that source on that?
So, the interview was in 2019.
Okay.
I know Donald Trump was president in 2019.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Thank you for the hard hands.
It's on CNN. I actually have it.
Well, there you go. CNN.
In my Discord. I actually have it in my Discord.
Okay. Well, I was going to make a point in the asylum. Well, should we just allow everyone that there's tough economic conditions and every part of the world? Should they just be able to come here? Like no issue?
I'm sorry. What makes you think that there's no issue?
No. I'm saying
also before he pivots to asylum and speaking about the undocumented immigrants. I mean, just an FYI, there's multiple sources that you can actually pull. There's a New York Times, a Washington Post article speaking about it. There's an American Voice Immigration Reform, AmericanVoices.org that speaks about it. And as of 2024, December 2024, Donald Trump had undocumented immigrants working at Mar-a-Lago, and you actually have two additional undocumented immigrants that have come out and basically blown the whistle, told about the mistreatment that Donald Trump and his administration, or his staff at Mar-a-Lago, are putting these undocumented immigrants through, and how there are still people working there today. So you can definitely find that information. That's me citing my source. Anyway, you were pivoting, Brian.
Mm-hmm.
So we were talking about asylum. Like, okay, so one good thing about
hell yeah, I'll pivot and shit.
No.
Get off this topic. Goddamn, you were mine.
I mean, sure. So the one good thing about the Biden, they had the safe third country agreement. You know what I'm talking about?
Say that again.
I do, but go ahead.
They had a new policy. It was I forget the title, but
basically it states that if you are out of your country and you're moving from you're out of the country, that there's an issue, and then you're moving to the United States, that you could wait in that actual country instead of having to go into the U.S.
Correct. Yes. And so, and the one thing we've known the last couple of years is that, and you can look this up, El Salvador is more safer than parts of the United States. So there's not an excuse from
El Salvador.
El Salvador, yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Where do I find that? You ever been to El Salvador?
No, I was on the airport, but I didn't go in the country. But
and you said El Salvador.
El Salvador, yeah, the country with the supermax prison. Yeah, their crime rate has dropped. It's safer than some parts.
That is true. I mean, I'll say this because Donald Trump was lying about El Salvador, well, certain countries and those southern countries actually releasing, they're being filled with crime and releasing people from their countries into America and blah, 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 blah. Basically, he was saying the reason why their countries got safer is because they were sending their people to the U.S., which was not true. But yes, there are a lot of southern countries that have lower crime rates than the United States because they actually take proper steps to not only mitigate crime, but they actually do things to reform criminals, not just actually put them into free slave labor and then release them to put them back into free slave labor. So that's what happens. Anyway, go ahead.
Oh, well, there you go.
Well, I would even argue in El Salvador, they're picking people up from the streets and just there's no trial. They're
Hold on, is it safe or is it not?
Yeah.
Because you saying they picking people up in the streets and there's no trial
in El Salvador.
I would love for you to cite a source.
Yeah.
You've been talking a lot, but not any sources.
Gosh, there was an article in Newsweek. Let me pull it up. But basically, this guy, he said, he's born there in El Salvador. He got picked up for, I don't know, with a tattoo or something. And his mom, interviewed the mom. She was heartbroken. And they just picked him up just because he was associated. Didn't have any proof.
That man was, ain't you talking about the man that was a U.S. citizen in America?
No, this guy, no, he didn't come. What I'm saying is that the president, they say he's a dictator. He won like 85% of the vote in his last election. But they're saying that he has near dictatorial powers, and what he's done is to make El Salvador safe, because now people can actually, there's no I don't know what the language you pew pew.
So I'm gonna actually cite your source for you, and let's do this. So there's a great AP News article that actually speaks to the lowering crime rate within El Salvador and how the unalivement rate has dropped to 1.9%. And in 2022, in 2022, there were 62 people that were unalived within a matter of hours. And since that time frame, there's been a massive focus on it, where there's only 1.9 unalivements per 100,000 people in their population in 2024. There's been a massive focus on it. There were 83,000 arrests. And so there was a claim from the opposition party saying that basically people were being arrested without due process, and they were actually not supposed to be locked up. Well, fun fact, surprise, surprise, out of all the people that they had arrested for multiple crimes, there were about 8,000 people that were released on not necessarily being there were 8,000 people released of the 83,000 people that were actually jailed that were proven to be innocent. So that counteracts the claim as far as due process, because again, they received a trial and they were actually found to not be guilty, and so they were released. Again, the overall crime rate, the unalivement rate, everything's it's down within El Salvador because they are taking their actual crime seriously. And for someone to say, well, there's no due process, if there was no due process, then those 8,000 people would still be in jail today.
It's delayed due process. It's not like here in the United States where you have a fast and speedy trial. They'll get due process, but it might be.
Hey, Jess, has Luigi started his trial yet?
I haven't heard anything about it.
I have not heard anything about Luigi's trial. I heard that they're trying to give him the unalivement penalty, but I haven't heard anything about Luigi's trial.
Yeah, because where's the evidence?
Where's the fast and speedy trial that Luigi should have gotten
while he's sitting in jail?
That's his Fifth Amendment right. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's given that's not what's happening.
It's
It's
giving
like what
I
you're saying
was
is the
wrong.
opposite. Yeah.
Again.
Yeah, I mean, in regards to that, I don't understand how this guy was like a honor student and then
No pivot. Go back to the point. I'm sorry. I was just actually proving what you said to be incorrect. I don't want you to pivot off of that to go to something else. Also, Dubs in the chat for Michelle, who sent a $10 donation saying, is he worried about his 401k? I hope he is. I absolutely hope he is. W's in the chat for Alejandro, who sent a $6 donation saying, have you seen the millions of people protesting around the country against Trump? I have, and I am so proud of them. W's in the chat for D Archery, I think that's how you said, who sent a $1 donation. W's in the chat for D Archery, who sent a $1 donation saying Brian is lying. His name is Ryan. The same Ryan that sent threats and photos about Olivia to good trouble.
My name is Brian. I don't know how you knew my name was Brian, first of all. But whatever.
Is this Ryan, the one that I've spoken with multiple times and told that you're not welcome on the platform? Ryan that actually has been watching over on YouTube and saying, hey, unblock me. And I've said, no, Ryan, that I literally, the reason why I asked the question, are you Ryan?
Rain?
Yeah, sure. Rain. Are you Rain?
No, I'm Brian. But I don't know. How'd you even know my name is Brian?
I didn't. I said Ryan. I said Ryan. And you was like, how did you know my name was Brian? I said Ryan, but Rain. Oh. Like, dude, is this you? Because I'm trying to, like, seriously.
No, my name is
it's
Brian.
weird if it's.
But how'd you? I don't. When you said earlier, is this Brian? I was like, well, how'd you even guess my name is Brian? I don't. I because my name's not.
Jess, what do you think?
I don't know the first person that you guys are talking about. Too.
Well, he's referring to Rain. I think that's
who is Rain, Brian?
Some guy that worked on the Trump campaign, I think.
How do you know him?
I don't.
Well, how do you know his story?
Because I come on your live.
You've never been on my live.
No, that's correct. I've never been on your live, but I've listened to it.
How long? How long have you been listening to my live?
January, first week of January.
Do he sound like the same person?
He does. And management was clocking him on the back and couldn't figure out if that was him or not. And
but my name is Brian. I don't really know why you even suggest. That's kind of weird.
Well, someone over on YouTube is saying that that's not him because they know his voice. It's
it's tricky.
Well, I'm probably smarter than Ryan or Rain.
Whatever. D Archery sent another $1 saying he's lying. He's the same guy. He got GT. He go get GT. Is GT live?
Somebody shared a lot of GT.
Is GT live? Yeah. Well, I feel like this is running its course anyway, and multiple people are telling me that that's him. It's weird. It's weird. I don't understand people, Jess. Like,
that's
respect
weird.
People boundaries. If I tell you no, that means no.
Pretending to be somebody else so you could be in the space is diabolical.
It is wicked work. And just for you to come up here and demonstrate everything that you don't know is absolutely insane.
Nasty. Which
Jeez
is crazy.
Louise, Jess.
Absolutely him. It's not him. It's like, it's not him. It is him. I don't know who he is initially, so I can't really be like, it sounds like him. I just don't know.
Yeah, well, and the reason why he's no longer welcome in our space is not only because of who he is, but the way that he disrespects people. And I'll leave it at that. He's not welcome in our space. And I've told him multiple times, and he's sent YouTube super chats begging, thank you for the hang likes, begging to be unblocked. And I've told him multiple times, like, you're not welcome here. And he's come back on alternative accounts before, and I've blocked the alternative accounts. So that's not out of the realm of possibility that is actually him. Again, management kind of clocked it in the back, but she was like, oh, let me listen a little bit longer. And she couldn't actually pin the voice. It's weird. Yeah. It's just weird, Jess.
That is weird. I'm not gonna lie.
And he was not.
Go home, Roger.
Go home, Roger. What
show is that from, y'all? Let me see who's the first person to put it in the chat. What show is that from?
Let's see if they see it. There we go. Sister.
Hey.
Sister.
Akua, let's go. That's the first one I saw.
Yeah, Jess, I mean, it's wicked work. It's wild. People are weird. And like, I feel like, I don't know, Jess. I don't know, Jess. Anyway, Jess, I feel like this live may have run its course. Like MAGA is scared.
I mean, I get it. You can't continue to defend.
Lives in chat for Corey.
What are you saying?
Nope.
Thank you, Kato.
Nope. That I don't.
It's crazy.
Yep.
I want to go to the casino.
I was just about to say, are you going live?
I was thinking about it.
I mean, if you go live,
if I do, I'm gonna go right now because then I want to go.
Oh, you're gonna do it now? Okay.
I want to hang out. Well, it's the thing. So if you have any royal family in here, everybody need a break. I want to run and go play a little roulette, little blackjack, and then we'll come back. Y'all want to go live like 10 o'clock? 10, 11? No, I'm a late night.
I mean, I am a fan. 1 second here.
A late night? Ten is 10.
So guys,
10.
I am putting our culture and podcast TikTok in the chat. Make sure you follow that. I tried to bring it up, but apparently it hasn't been around enough. There's not enough live access. Make sure you are following the Culture and Chaos podcast.
Spam the chat.
Exactly, in the chat right here. It's saying right here. You should see it in the chat. Culture and Chaos podcast.
I don't see it.
For some reason it filtered that out.
Just say hello. Yeah,
it said, hey Jess. There it is. Culture and Chaos podcast.
Hey Culture. We gotta be like, I'm Culture, and you say I'm Chaos.
Exactly. What up, Santana?
Because Santana with the shits, well, y'all don't want it, okay?
Right?
Y'all be over here sparring. I mean,
listen, we be squabbling up. This is the culture. And
somebody sent me $100.
This is the chaos. Make sure you guys are following the Culture and Chaos podcast, not only on TikTok, YouTube, all the other things. Guys, our first episode will drop on April the 14th. It's going to be great. The graphics are amazing. The transitions, the actual detail, the intro, the outro, like everything is so on point, guys. It's going to be amazing. You guys are going to love it. And Jessica and I are going to put in so much hard work for each and every one of you guys. So please, make sure you're following. Give us a listen.
Like my girl say, we like hard work. Okay?
What?
Come on YouTube, yes. Culture and Chaos. If you're on YouTube, I am in there from the Culture and Chaos podcast as well. So I just put hello in the chat. Please subscribe there. Say Jessica and Santana hello.
Yep.
So yeah, spam the chat really quick. Santana.
Do this well. Let's see here.
So they can follow the TikTok too.
You should see it. I just put the @ over in the YouTube.
I see it.
I said hello, everyone.
Yeah, there it is at the bottom, you guys. Culture and Chaos podcast. That is our TikTok as well. So give that a follow.
I am the pod.
So subscribe to me.
All right, Jess. I think that's a wrap. You want to do outro with me?
Yeah. Let's
hit it.
Of course I will.
Price, emotional stability, a sound body entering.
Listen, guys, this has been absolutely amazing. This has been a great day. Anytime you get a Jessica Simone and Santana collab, it never disappoints, right, Jess?
Not
at all. And with that being said, guys, make sure you are following us on the Culture and Chaos podcast on YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram, Threads, all of those places, guys. Our first episode will drop on April the 14th. It's going to be an amazing show. It's going to be a weekly 1-hour podcast where we actually bring you so much that you guys need to hear, and we want to make sure that we get it out to you. With that being said, Guys, thank you. We love you. Thank you for the likes, the taps, the shares. Thank you for all of the wonderful things. Jessica Simone will be going live at some point, so make sure you're following her and you go live with her. I will be over there at some point, and catch us later. I love you all, and as always, peace.
Like Debonair, who are voting for a man who voted on the Southern strategy, which if you look up Britannica and you want to source